Come celebrate Military Appreciation Night, presented by 84 Lumber at PPG Paints Arena on November 9th as the Pittsburgh Penguins take on the LA Kings. Over to the point for Wotherspoon. He risks when he scores! Connor Dewar with the solid... All fans in attendance receive a camo hat presented by 84 Lumber. Puck drops at 2 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com. No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins.
Just like defensemen have to protect the crease, you have to protect the paint of your car. Mr. Magic Car Wash is offering a free Paint Protect Wash valued at $25 to all new customers. Visit MrMagicCarWash.com to redeem your free wash today.
Two things you can't argue: everyone loves free, and everyone loves chocolate chip cookies. Get to the Penguins mobile app and grab your offer for a free chocolate chip cookie from select Crumble locations on any Penguins home game day. From Crumble, official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Looking for an easy way to go green? With Indra Energy's Green Tree Plans, you can help reforest the planet just by powering your home. Green Tree Plans are 100% zero emission, supporting clean energy and a healthier planet. Plus, earn tree plantings every single month based on your energy usage. Terms and conditions apply. Make the simple switch to a plan that gives back sustainably. Grow your forest today at greentreeplan.com. Indra Energy, a new way to power your life. It's now time for Pierre Maguire on the UPMC Penguins Live pregame show. Brought to you by Labatt and Labatt Blue Light, the official import beer of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Always enjoy responsibly.
Nathan McKinnon's Colorado Avalanche lead the NHL in the overall standings with 19 points, followed by Winnipeg, Montreal, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Detroit, all with 18 points. As we welcome back Pierre Maguire, competitive balance exists in the Eastern Conference right now. Every team except for Boston is over 500, and the Bruins are at 500. Montreal and New Jersey and the Penguins, excellent records. What are your thoughts, Pierre, on just the way things have started here in the first month, with teams not expected to do well, doing well, and some that were expected doing not so well?
Well, I think the biggest part is a team like Pittsburgh has really taken off, Paul. Big reason why. Great training camp, very concise messaging from the coaching staff to the players, the really improved power play, which deserves a lot of credit in Pittsburgh. And as you and Michelle and the entire show have talked about, you know, the way that Ben Kindle has handled himself as a young player in the National Hockey League is phenomenal. So we'll focus in on Pittsburgh for what they've done. But there was huge expectation, Paul, in the Atlantic, not so much in the Metro, but in the Atlantic for the Buffalo Sabres, who had a terrible start and have now reeled the season in, for the Detroit Red Wings, who had a terrible opening night against Montreal and now have reeled the season in. And also, quite frankly, when you look at the entire Atlantic, most people thought that Montreal and Ottawa were going to be in the top three. And right now they are in the top three. And that does not surprise me at all. But that's going to cause problems for Tampa. It's going to cause problems for Florida. And it's going to cause problems for Toronto, especially if those teams can't get it back on track. Now, the only last thing I'll say before I give it back to you, Tampa's won their last five. Mm-hmm. They're starting to roll. They're really starting to roll.
Does Easton Cowan kind of salve the wound of losing Mitch Marner, do you think, in Toronto?
Not at this point. He will eventually. They're both London Knights, former London Knights. And I think if you're a London Knight, you're probably a London Knight for life, because it's such a great program run by the Hunter brothers up there in London, Ontario. But I would say this, Paul. The biggest thing for Toronto is they got to get Willie Nylander back. They've got to get Scott Lawton back in the lineup, playing at 100%. He was having a phenomenal start to the year in preseason before he got derailed with an injury. And they cannot lose Christopher Tanev for a long period of time. If those guys don't come back and they can't get Tanev back to 100%, this is going to be a very difficult year for Toronto, and they're going to have to be really proactive in terms of acquiring professional level players.
Pierre, over in the West, 6 teams under 500, but then there's some excellent teams at the top.
There really are. And one of the most improved teams in the National Hockey League, and I know I can say this comfortably in Pittsburgh, are the Pittsburgh Penguins. But in the West, they're the Anaheim Ducks. And getting Joel Quenneville to go out there and coach was a huge acquisition for the Samueli family and Pat Verbeek, their general manager. Getting Mason McTavish signed when a lot of people thought he would get an offer sheet as a restricted free agent has worked out really well for Anaheim. But they've got a burgeoning superstar there in the name of Leo Carlson. Paul, this guy's the real deal. He's a phenomenal talent. And acquiring Cutter Gauthier from Philadelphia a season ago has been huge for them. This is a team that's going to be really difficult to play against long term. And they're just part of why the West has some really good teams. But don't look past Colorado or Vegas. Both those teams, I think, will go very, very deep into the playoffs.
You also got the Utah Mammoth. They got a 1-point lead on Anaheim as Anaheim is climbing. It doesn't look like they're going anywhere to me. They're going where they are.
Yeah, no, Utah's good. I'm glad you brought Utah up. I watched their game yesterday against Tampa, and Tampa beat them. Tampa didn't look overly comfortable in the game, and that's good for Utah. My concern for Utah is there's just limited depth there, and because of that limited depth, once you get past U.S. Thanksgiving, if guys start to fall to the wayside due to injuries, that's going to be a bit of a problem for them. Their farm teams in Tucson, Arizona, they're kind of a 500 team there right now. They lost last night to Iowa in the American Hockey League, Minnesota's farm team. So I worry a little bit about their organizational depth, but right now they're playing very well. They're playing really well.
Did Ryan McGuire play in that game last night?
He did not. Ryan McGuire's got a broken foot and will be out 3 to 6 weeks.
Oh, no.
Wednesday night. That's part of the deal. That's pro hockey, man.
Sure is. That's too bad. Did he block a shot? Is that what happened?
Yeah, car crash behind the net into the boards.
Ooh, that happened to Sid once. Got a high ankle sprain.
The good news is he doesn't need surgery.
That is good news. Oh, that's great. That's Pierre's son, Ryan, who's going to play in the NHL someday. We'll be back with more with Pierre McGuire in a moment on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brind'Amour. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mound. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch of highway we haven't been able to cover. So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91. Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group. And thus, I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change. And we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now it's time for Muse's Musings.
Now, just as we said earlier with Colby, the fourth liners play more than the third liners on the Penguins, so which one is it? Are they the fourth or the third line? But, of course, they kill penalties a lot. And Dan Muse spoke effusively about them today.
You know, I think sometimes their offense is just created off of like good defensive play. And sometimes it's not just in the D zone. Sometimes it's just the way that they get above pucks, they strip pucks, and then they can quickly turn it into offense. And they can also, and there's been, I think we see this on almost, regular game-to-game basis of like where they can get going in the O zone and they can possess it and they can wear teams down that way. And a lot of times they're able to generate and create something off of those. And so, those guys they've been playing well at both ends of the ice. Obviously, they're big. All three of them are huge contributors there on the penalty kill. And so I think they take a lot of pride in their role too. And that can be a tough job at times. Like they don't get put in the O zone for too many faceoffs. Like they're typically starting in the defensive zone. And so, for them, to be able to set themselves up to create offense when they're almost always starting at a little bit of a disadvantage. It's a credit to them, but they've been a big part of this group.
Amazing. They start in their own end on faceoffs, and they lead the team in Corsi with, puck possession, shot differential, Connor Dewar, Blake Lizotte in the middle, Noel Acciari on the right, Pierre. And you got to have it. And if we do have it, you got to take advantage of it.
There's no question about it, Paul. This brings me back to the Scotty Bowman theory of hockey. Some nights your first line is your fourth line, and some nights your fourth line is your first line. And the Pittsburgh Penguins have a line right now that's causing a lot of mayhem with Dewar, Lizotte, and Acciari. There's no question. Noel Acciari, the first time I saw him play was at the Kent School in Pennsylvania. Second time I saw him play was at Providence College, where he's part of a national championship team. And the third time I saw him play, Paul, I'm not kidding around with you, I think I broadcast his first NHL game as a member of the Boston Bruins. So I know him well. Blake Lizotte was a tremendous player in college. As a Minnesota kid growing up, and Connor Dewar's always been a scrappy, hard, in-your-face kind of guy. And, I think players like that, they always want to PPW, Paul. They always want to prove people wrong. And that line's doing it almost on a nightly basis.
And I think it's helpful, and you tell me, that they all are sort of cut from the same cloth. So they're greater than the sum of their parts because they're so like one another and they care and play for each other.
I love what you just said. Those identity lines are usually like that. And I know people in Pittsburgh don't want to hear about the New York Islanders players, but when they had Matt Martin and Casey Cizikas and Cal Clutterbuck, they were called the identity line. They were an identity line for a reason, Paul. They were big, they were fast, they were physical, and they fought for one another. They didn't fight for themselves. They fought for one another. And I think Pittsburgh's starting to build up a bit of an identity line right now with Lizotte, Acciari, and Dewar.
No doubt. And we will be back with more with a guy who had a pretty good identity himself on the ice, the old 2-9er on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Now that Baird and Heffron Tillotson are one, we're proud to call Pittsburgh home. And with 8 locations in the region, we're even prouder to be helping so many of our neighbors build secure financial futures. From our big picture global perspective and business expertise, down to the personalized master plan we'll create based on your unique goals and dreams, your financial security is our first priority. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Pittsburgh. Robert W. Baird & Company, Incorporated, member SIPC.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total
Penguins
sales.
fans, get savings of up to 20% when you choose from Flex plans starting at 3 games. Pick your games, pricing, and seats.
Bit out below the goal line, centering pass. Big save by Sheilov. Second attempt, a sprawling save. He pounces on top of it, but it's still not frozen. Here comes Malkin hustling in. Shot fired. Second attempt, and he scores!
Don't miss out on the action this season. Get more information and choose your Flex plan today at www.pittsburghpenguins.com/flex.
Gluten-free, check. Keto-friendly, check. Low-carb, check. High-protein, check. Nitrate-free, check. Flavorful and satisfying, check. When you want a meat snack that checks all the boxes, try the original Mr. Donair beef jerky and sticks. With 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories, it's beef jerky like no other. Mr. Donair, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins, now available on Amazon.
This is the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network. This copyrighted broadcast is the property of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of all or part of this broadcast, or any descriptions or accounts of this game therein without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Penguins is strictly prohibited.
Welcome to the Old Two-Niner. 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 Welcome to the Old Two-Niner.
Time for 2 minutes with the Old Two-Niner. Brought to you by your Pittsburgh area Lexus dealers. Experience amazing.
Welcome to the Old Two-Niner. Pens and Leafs tonight. We're joined now by Penguins forward Ben Kindle. Ben, I know you're from just outside Vancouver, which is a big hockey market, obviously, but Toronto is kind of considered a bigger hockey market. Whether it's you're playing in Madison Square Garden or any other venue, it doesn't seem like you're overwhelmed by the venue or the opponent or the situation. But here in Toronto, is it a big deal for you?
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal. It's definitely the hockey mecca of the world, of the country, and I think a lot of eyes on the Leafs and whoever they're playing, and we want to go in there and win this game. So it's going to be a great experience, and I'm really excited for it.
How about when you're going on the ice and, tonight it would be Nylander and Matthews? Does that enter your mind? Do you allow that to happen, or you understand that I can't get overwhelmed by who I'm playing against? I got a job to do.
No, for sure. I mean, obviously, you watch a lot of these big names growing up, and I feel like every game there's a new player you have to go up against. But I think at the end of the day, just having that mindset, they're just another hockey player, and obviously they're very good players, but at the end of the day, it's just another hockey player and just another game. Just got to go play your game.
Last one for you, Ben. I want to ask you about the power play. You're on the number one unit with Sid, with Ricardo Raquel out. Do you have a defined job? Is it net front? Is it bumper? Is it flank? Or maybe being unpredictable is probably the best way to describe it, right?
Yeah, I think if you were to call one thing, I'd say just in the bumper spot right now, but with that power play, I think just a lot of movement all the time, moving parts, and I think that's why it's such an effective unit. They all read off each other so well. Just kind of try and come in there and just help however I can, get loose pucks when puck battles back, and just kind of use my smarts to play with them.
Ben, thanks for doing this. All the best. Go get the Leafs.
Thank you.
All right, that's Ben Kindle. And you're 2 minutes with the Old Two-Niner. Enjoy the hockey game.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, because life. Now it is time for the Highmark Injury Update.
Quick comments from Pierre before he says goodbye. Ben Kindle, amazing. I thought that was a great question about his role in the power play. It is true. It's interchangeable parts, basically.
It's a fantastic quote from Ben Kindle, but the thing that I admire the most, how much he's learning playing with Sidney Crosby, how much he's learning playing with Evgeny Malkin, how much he's learning about poise and composure in key moments of games at the NHL level. It's a phenomenal thing. You cannot buy this experience. You have to earn it, and that's what he's doing.
Pierre, Harrison Brunick plays his 9th game tonight. Will he play 10?
Good question, Paul. I really worry about Harrison long-term this year just because it's such a hard position to play, playing defense in the NHL. I do hope they allow him to go play in the World Junior Championship. I think it'd be the perfect tonic for him to take his game up another level. But if they don't, I understand that too. I have to think that at some point he'll go back to junior.
Very interesting. And, it's not easy having both Rickard Raquel and Justin Brazeau out of the lineup. I think that has hurt the Penguins. It did the other day. I felt like not having Brazeau hurts that line because, again, they're sort of like that fourth line in the sense that it's a symbiotic thing. And with Brazeau out, it hurts Gino. It's just, we got to get him back. He's going to be out again tonight. Raquel is out. Kevin Hayes, Rucker McGroarty, Caleb Jones. For the Leafs, Scott Lawton, Chris Tanev, and Steve Lorentz are all out of the lineup. The Powerball lottery, the jackpot tonight, $419 million. You can play online or at your local retailer. You must be 18 or older to participate. And please, play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Pierre, enjoy the game tonight. Thanks a lot for being with us for the full half hour. And we really appreciate it. We'll talk to you before the next game when the Penguins play the Capitals on Thursday night.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Enjoy the game, everybody.
That's Pierre McGuire and the Old Two-Niner and Joe Brand coming up in just a moment on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Together with our Pledge Impact partners, Davey Tree, Excelitas, Duquesne Light Company, and WM, Penguins Pledge is a commitment to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
Oh, did you not see that insane play? Why are you on your phone right now?
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the next move for my business.
Sounds like you can use an extra player on your team.
Yeah, like a business power play.
Well, whenever I use S&T Bank, it feels like they're my team of experts ready to help me score big. You should talk to a banker at S&T to learn more and get all the benefits of having an extra player on the ice.
When it's time to set up a winning strategy, S&T Bank will get you in the game. Stop by a branch today or visit stbank.com/PensRadio to learn more. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Pittsburgh Penguins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Penguins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
Save a rebound on the view. Hey! Shoots and scores! Mario Lemieux and the Penguins lead 5-4, and you'd have to be here to believe it, to believe it, to believe it. Crosby, backhanded pass, Russ scores! What a feed from Sidney Crosby for his 90th point of the season. Crosby centering pass, Malkin trying to get a couple jabs at it, and getting Malkin from the seat of his pants joins the 500 club.
Welcome to a new era of Penguins hockey on the radio. The Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network proudly presents Penguins Hockey. The Penguins Radio Network is presented by S&T Bank and brought to you in part by Number 1 Cochrane, Go One Better, by IC Light, by McDonald's, providing you the official burger of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Get-Go Cafe and Market, Get-Go, where the Pens go, by Coca-Cola, founding partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Clearview Federal Credit Union, helping people enjoy a better life, and by Indra Energy, an official Penguins Pledge champion partner. Now, here's Joe Brand and Phil Bourne.
One last stop on the Penguins road trip, and it brings them to Eastern Canada for a date against an Original Six team. The Penguins get their first look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, a team that's in the bottom half of the Atlantic Division, but possibly might be finding their stride. Welcome in, Penguins fans, and welcome to Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto, Ontario. Alongside the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brand. And Borky, this Penguins team is still looking to solidify their identity. And one very good trait that would happen to fall into their laps would be resilience. And that could be shown here tonight in Toronto. We've seen them bear down during some games. Now they have a chance to wash away a rough loss on Saturday in Winnipeg. The Penguins have had some good starts this season. It's time to get back to that trait for sure.
Hey, man, good to be with you again, Joe. And, I was looking back to the last time the Penguins lost a game in regulation because it's been a while. It's the Anaheim game.
Yep.
Tough loss, right? Losing the last few minutes, last couple minutes on a power play goal by Chris Kreider. Penguins dusted themselves off and they went 6-0-2. Let's see if they can do it here because this will be a big test for them. This is a Toronto Maple Leaf team. We've seen it now. And a couple teams the Penguins have faced. Desperate, right? This is a Toronto Maple Leafs team that did not have a great start to this season. They've been really good at home, not so good on the road. This is the first of 4 at home for them. Over the years, the Penguins have not had a lot of success here in Toronto. But this is the last of a 4-game road trip for the Penguins. It always feels good to finish off a road trip on a good note before you go back home for some home cooking and you play the Washington Capitals. So I'm looking for the Penguins to hit the reset button. The one thing I can almost guarantee you're going to get is a good start, because that was the biggest thing that was lacking against the Winnipeg Jets. Because if you take away, let's just say, the first 10 minutes of the game, Joe, it wasn't terrible. There were some mistakes, there were some leaks, some cracks in the dam, so to speak, but it wasn't terrible. They played a lot better, but they were just playing catch-up hockey, and you can't against the Winnipeg Jets, especially in Winnipeg.
The Toronto Maple Leafs come into this game winning 3 out of their last 4 contests. It's always an interesting time for sports fans here in Toronto, but this city is fresh off a devastating ending to a World Series loss. So now it's up to the Leafs to come in and save the day. No pressure, right?
Oh, my goodness. Like, there's not enough pressure on this team, right? And now Mitch Marner's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, what did we do? We should have kept Mitchie boy. I don't know, man. I don't know who. Listen, the one thing I know is Craig Berube, their head coach, and he is a heck of a hockey coach. He has really turned into, a guy that was a bit of a thug when he played. Is very cerebral. He's very smart. He's got good balance. That's one thing I would count on, that he will have this team ready to play, and he'll do everything to get them back into a playoff spot, because it wasn't that long ago they were dead last in the Eastern Conference. And you mentioned they won a few games, and now they're with about 9 teams right now. They're all separated by 1 point. They're looking up at the Rangers that have those second wild card spot with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I don't know, man. I look at their roster, Joe, and listen, you don't hear me reference Mike Sullivan very much, but Sully said some very poignant things sometime. You can't score your way to a championship. You have to be able to defend. You have to be able to keep the puck out of your net. That needs to be your identity. Listen, this isn't the, high-flying Edmonton Oilers from, the late 80s, early 90s. You can't win that way anymore. They've got some unbelievable offensive talent, but do they have the blueprint? Do they have an identity? And that identity, can they win in the playoffs? They can win the regular season. They've been in the playoffs 9 straight years, more than any other team. That's the longest streak in the NHL right now. But is it a team that can do it on a consistent basis to get to the promised land? Because that's it for this team, right? It's cup or bust. Am I wrong?
No, 100%. And that's, I think, what every fan in this building is feeling right now, what they feel each and every year. I mean, what's it only been? The second round for the Toronto Maple Leafs on that 9-year stretch that you just talked about? That's as far as they've gone?
That's as far as they've gone.
That's as far as
most
they've
of it, of those 9, I think 7 of the 9 have been first round out.
Well, one of the offensive pieces that they do have back is William Nylander. He's in the lineup tonight. He scored 4 goals against the Penguins in 3 games last season. But let's talk about a few of the other Penguins that get another opportunity. For guys like Philip Tomasino, Ville Koivunen, Harrison Brunick, Owen Pickering, all these guys are back in the lineup. Some of the situations are people being out. Justin Brazeau is still out day to day, just status quo as it was listed by head coach Dan Muse. But for some of these other guys, this is another opportunity given from Dan Muse, and this is one they can't let slip, really.
No, well said, pal. And I like what Staggy said, that it's one thing to have Ricard Raquel out, but then when you have Raquel and Brazeau out, those are 2 guys that were putting biscuits in the basket, right?
Yeah.
And now you're looking at Ville Koivunen. You're looking at Philip Hollander and saying, hey, boys, let's go. We need you. We need you now, tonight. And the Penguins are going to need some of that offense from guys that usually don't give you offense. And you're right. And then on the other side, when it comes to Brunick and Pickering, they did not have a great game in Winnipeg. I'll just kind of leave it at that. And so I find it interesting. They're right back in. And I think it's one of those moments, Joe, where you don't want players to fail. You don't want them to stumble. But deep down, you need to have those moments to get them right back in there again to see what they're made of. And listen, I'm not trying to get into Dan Muse's head, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like, when they get together and they decide on the lineup and say, what do you think of 45? What do you think of 38? Yeah, not that good against Winnipeg. Let's get them back in there. Let's really see what they're made out of.
That's an opportunity for those guys. That's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque, as the Penguins get set for their first matchup against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Penguins 8-3-2 coming into this game, with the Maple Leafs at 6-5-1. As Bourque had mentioned earlier, this Maple Leafs team 5-2-1 here at Scotiabank Arena, as the Penguins are trying to wrap up their road trip and make it a winning one as they finish things off here in Toronto. One former Maple Leaf that's now with the Pittsburgh Penguins, Connor Dewar, sat down, and we'll hear from him before we have puck drop here from Canada.
Kind of a little tour for you, a couple of former teams, your hometown team as well. And what has this last week been like for you?
It's been a fun trip. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing familiar faces, in places I've spent time, and kind of feel like, I grew up in Minnie, and then being in Winnipeg, you see all the people who raised you as a kid and everything, and then to come back to Toronto and be around the city, and it's such a cool place to be, right? It's all just, brings back a lot of great memories.
Are you able to kind of reflect on stuff like that? I mean, I know hockey players try to say like pretty close-minded and that focus on the next thing, but are you able to kind of go back at all with that?
Yeah, I think so. It's just part of being human, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it helps when you see faces that you haven't seen in a while, and it's just great to catch up. And you might not have seen them in a few years, but it just feels like you seen them yesterday. The way you kind of get the conversation started, so it's good. It's fun.
First game with the Leafs since being traded. If you go back there and think about what you were hoping to accomplish coming over to the Penguins, and now what you feel like you've accomplished with the Penguins, how many of those things match up?
It's matched up well. I think I've really enjoyed my time at Pittsburgh. I love living there. I love playing there. These teammates are great. Organization's great. I have no complaints about Pittsburgh. It's been great.
Connor, thanks for the time. Good luck against the Leafs.
Thank you.
Come celebrate Military Appreciation Night, presented by 84 Lumber at PPG Paints Arena on November 9th as the Pittsburgh Penguins take on the LA Kings.
Over to the point for Wotherspoon. He risks when he scores!
All fans in attendance receive a camo hat presented by 84 Lumber. Puck drops at 2 p.m. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com. Make your game day sweeter. Get to the Penguins mobile app and grab your offer for a free chocolate chip cookie from select Crumble locations on any Penguins home game day. Score big with game day flavors from Crumble, official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Just like defensemen have to protect the crease, you have to protect the paint of your car. Mr. Magic Car Wash is offering a free Paint Protect Wash valued at $25 to all new customers. Visit MrMagicCarWash.com to redeem your free wash today.
In Pittsburgh, champions aren't just born, they're built. And NSS Life has been part of that winning legacy for decades.
We've stood with the city's champions on and off the field,
building futures that are strong, secure, and built to last.
NSS Life is proud to be part of Pittsburgh's past and your future.
NSS Life, the official life insurance company of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
NSS Life, where family matters.
We're just about all set for hockey here in Toronto, Ontario, as the Pittsburgh Penguins wrap up a 4-game road trip taking on the Maple Leafs. How's it going, Penguins fans? Alongside the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, I'm Joe Brandon. We're just thrilled to have you here with us for another edition of Pittsburgh Penguins hockey. The Penguins 8-3-2 coming into this game. Toronto at 6-5-1. The Pens are wearing their road white sweaters. They're attacking from left to right. The Toronto Maple Leafs and their home blue sweaters attacking from right to left. It'll be the two captains, Sidney Crosby and Austin Matthews, to take the draw. Matthews wins it. We're underway here in Toronto. Opening faceoff is brought to you by everyone Cochran. Go one better. As Tristan Jarry's in net for the Penguins, making his 300th career start. The Leafs bring it down into the Penguins zone, put some pressure, but the Penguins are able to pull it away. Anthony Stolar's in net for the Toronto Maple Leafs as he makes his 10th appearance of the year and his 5th career against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now Morgan Riley drops it down into the Penguins zone, around the boards over to the far corner. Chris Letang cranks it back. Starting lineups put together by Dan Muse are brought to you by Clearview Federal Credit Union. As the top line of Sidney Crosby, Brian Rust, and Philip Hollander started off this game. Parker Wotherspoon, Eric Carlson, the top defensive pair. Now the Leafs back into the Penguins zone. McMahon playing it off the corner. A backhanded shot by Joshua, and Jarry's able to kick it out. Penguins cruising into the Leafs zone. Chipped down to the far corner as Tomasino, the Toronto native, races after it. Toronto quickly pulls it back out, enters into the Penguins zone. McMahon plays it off the near wall, couldn't handle the puck. Chris Letang falls down to his knees while playing it. and is able to get it over to Ryan Shea, far corner.
Nifty play there by Letang. While he was on his knees, he made a curl and drag move to pull the puck into his body to get away from Nicholas Roy.
There's Ben Kindle playing in Toronto for the first time in his NHL career, his 11th game. But the Maple Leafs kick it out to the neutral zone. Nylander cross ice pass. Here's Cowan, the rookie, over at the far half wall. Curls around. One-timer Myers. His stick exploded, but the puck just still hit the side of the cage. Now Ville Koivunen with speed into the Leafs zone. Near side at the circle. Drags to the corner. Hangs onto the puck. Pitches it up to Brunik. He sends a wrister. Doesn't get through traffic. Fight for the puck in the near wall by Tommy Novak. Slid along the boards. And won by Novak. Still punched into the wall, though, as Toronto works it up the near boards. Lazat gets a touch on it, but Ekman Larsson pulls it away for Toronto. Jumps off the stick of John Tavares. Rolls into the Penguin zone. Harrison Brunik races it down. Leafs get a change.
That exploded stick by Myers still sitting inside the Penguin zone.
Now the Penguins back in the Leaf zone, but offside. A little over 2 minutes gone in this hockey game. No score from Toronto. Both teams with one shot so far.
Yeah, one thing I'll be keeping an eye on is that defense pairing of Owen Pickering and Harrison Brunik, and how they're able to bounce back from a game against Winnipeg that was not their best.
We talked about in the pregame show, Dan Muse going back with Owen Pickering and Harrison Brunik. And this is Harrison Brunik's 9th career NHL game. So one more, and that wipes away the first year of the entry-level contract. But we've seen the Penguins do the same with Ben Kindle. Keep an eye on that total, as the Penguins' next game will be Thursday at home against Washington. Now the Leafs in the Penguin zone, but they're offside. 2.5 minutes gone in this game, no score.
Speaking of that game against Washington, that's Pittsburgh night. Pens and Caps, presented by U.S. Steel on the 6th versus the Capitals. You can join your favorite mascots from around the city to celebrate all things Pittsburgh. Puck drop is 7:30, folks. Not 7:30 against the Capitals on November the 6th. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
Yeah, and if you haven't heard, not sure how, we've been talking about it a ton, but those tickets are on sale as this one's set wide by William Nylander, rather Nicholas Robertson, over at the far corner. It's rolled along the far boards, but yeah, 30% off those tickets by visiting PittsburghPenguins.com for the game on Thursday against the Washington Capitals and Saturday against the...
Do you need a code or anything, Joe?
No code. No code needed. Early Black Friday savings are just already started. Penguins are looking to pack the house as Crosby feeds Russ near circle. Centering pass just goes high in the net on Hollander's attempt.
Oh, what a setup by Russ. The Hollander backdoor. That's when you got to get really strong on the stick, Joe. And he just sailed it over the crossbar.
Best chance for the Penguins, unable to capitalize, though. 3.5 minutes gone in this game from Toronto. No score. Penguins work it out of their zone. Tomasino drops it down to the near corner. Philip Myers first there. He'll swing it over to the far boards. Malkin breaks the puck off of Dakota Joshua's stick, sends it deep again. Mantha now crunched into the boards, but Malkin swings it up to Letang. He sends a drive, hits the side of the cage. Fight for the puck below the goal line. Myers chips it over to the corner. Malkin comes swooping in, stealing the puck away. Backhanded shot, never got it fully off. Good poke check from one of the Leafs as Mantha will swing it around the boards. Penguins keep it alive in the Maple Leaf zone. Far point at Shea. Tried to angle one home with Mantha on the doorstep, but wasn't close enough to the cage. Now Myers picks up a loose puck in the near corner. He'll bring it over to the far side and work it out of the Leaf zone.
That's a really good play by Philip Myers to get his feet moving and having great patience to buy himself some time to Murphy dump it into the neutral zone.
Philip Tomasino down to his knees, dumps it back into Toronto's zone. Penguins get a change. With 4.5 minutes gone now in this game, no score. Tavares with speed in the Penguins zone, near corner. Takes it in behind the net, over to the far side, swings it up to the point. Carlo a drive. It bounced off the skate of Ben Kindle, rolled over to the near wall. Ville Koivunen dishes it out to Kindle, who cruises through the neutral zone. Leaves it for Novak above the near circle. A wrister found a piece of Kindle, but it went wide of the net. Now Kindle will race after the puck in the near corner. He gets crunched into the boards by Morgan Riley. Novak tried to steal the puck away, but Toronto takes it. They'll send it the other way. As here's Easton Cowan dumping it down to the Penguins' end far corner. Brunik gets in front of him, rookie against rookie, and swings it up along the near boards. Sends it rink wide to Koivunen. He's through the neutral zone over the Leafs line. Above the far circle, wrister found some traffic, but still went wide. Novak pulling the puck over to the far corner. He gets sent into the boards by Simone Benoit. As Lizotte tries to dig the puck free in that far corner, pitched along the boards and taken away by Nylander. He'll chip it down over into the Penguins' end, not all that far as Wotherspoon quickly gets it to Carlson. Now up ahead to Achari, dumped back down into the Maple Leaf zone near corner. Lizotte swings it around the boards to the far point for Wotherspoon. Snap to Carlson, high slot. Wrister doesn't get through. Max Domi was right there. Now he'll carry it up to the neutral zone with some speed. Shovels it over to Yarncrook, but stolen away by Carlson.
Good hustle by Carlson. That's a turnover. When a shot gets blocked like that, 10 feet inside the blue line, it was a turnover, but good job by Carlson to cover up for his mistake.
Penguins send it deep into the Leafs zone again. Sent over to the far corner, though, by Toronto. Philip Myers will pitch it out to the neutral zone. Carlson sweeps it back the other way. Pens are back in the Leafs zone. Russ near half wall. He's got Crosby towards the doorstep. Takes the puck to the corner. In behind the net to Crosby. He gets sandwiched by a couple of Leafs. Matthews fighting against Hollander for the puck in the far corner. It's pulled out by Toronto. They'll chip it down to the neutral zone. 6.5 minutes gone in this game. No score. Both teams still sitting on one shot on goal. Here's Robertson into the Penguin zone. Nice a shot, and Ryan Shea with a great block shot.
Oh, that's tremendous play by Ryan Shea to gap up on Matthew Nyes.
Now Rust into the Leaf zone. Far half wall. Drops it down to the corner. Only guy there, though, is Brandon Carlo for Toronto. They'll pick it up behind Stolar's net. Swing it up to the neutral zone. Up ahead to Matthew Nyes in the Penguin zone. He'll rim it around the boards to the far wall. Past Tomasino as Robertson sends it deep. But he takes the puck out of play and then throws down Tomasino, who's quick to get back up and in Nyes' grill. But we'll go to our first break of the first period. No score between the Pens and the Leafs here in Toronto. 13-18 to go in the first. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage, used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
The wait is over, Pens fans. The 2026 Penguins and Paws Charity Pet Calendar is here, featuring Penguins players and adoptable pets, all while supporting a great cause. With each month, you'll get a glimpse of your favorite players, alongside adorable furry friends looking for their forever homes. Proceeds benefit animal friends and the Penguins Foundation, assisting pets in need to find the perfect home. Secure your calendar today by visiting shop.pittsburghpenguinsfoundation.org. Pre-order your Penguins and Paws Charity Pet Calendar today and make a difference, 1 month at a time.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Welcome back to Scotia Bank Arena. Pens and Leafs tied. No score. While you're sitting on the couch, daydreaming about good things to come, well, tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $400 million. So don't forget to play at your local retailer, or while you're sitting on the couch with the remote, you can play online. Do what the cool kids do. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds, it benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly.
You become a multi-millionaire just like that, sitting on the couch.
I only take 5%. You can thank me later.
There you go. Seems fair. The Leafs keep the puck alive in the Penguin zone. It's sent in behind Tristan Jarry's net. Carlson looking to dig it out, but it slowly rolls along the near wall. It's taken by Easton Cowan. He'll bring it up to the point, snaps it over to the high slot, down to the corner now. Centering pass, and the redirection popped right over the net off the stick of Nylander. And now a second tough angle shot coming from Toronto, slid out of there by Jarry. The Penguins will finally get it out of their zone.
That was a pretty good chance for Nylander. He was tied up with Lizotte. And this is what we saw in Winnipeg the other night, where the Penguins were there, and I said they're not there. Yeah. What I mean by that, you're next to a guy, you got to get under his stick, get under his hands, and get him up in the air. Lazotte's going to be stronger on Nylander next time.
Yeah, Winnipeg's 2 goals that started the game on Saturday were basically off of rebounds or after rebounds.
Right around the Penguins' goal.
As Maple Leafs
Offside.
are offside. 12:26 to go in the first. No score here from Toronto.
As we touched on, this Toronto Maple Leaf team, we touched on in our open, 9 straight years in the playoffs. First round outs, 7 of those 9. Last Stanley Cup for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 1967. They did win in 62, 63, and 64 before winning that cup in 67. But I got a story I'll tell you later on and why I think this team has not won a Stanley Cup since 1967. Stay tuned.
Anything to do with curses?
Possibly.
Ooh. Past Halloween, but still bringing out the spooky stories. Penguins back into the Leafs zone, but Brunick quickly checked into the boards after dumping it in. Toronto pulls it out. Now Malkin steals the puck away in a stretch pass in the neutral zone. Coughed up again, but fought for. Malkin's got it in the Leafs zone. Crosby near circle, back to Malkin, and swept out of there by Stolars.
Up with Sid and Rusty here, 5-on-5. We saw this a little bit in Winnipeg. Hollander off the line.
Owen Pickering can't handle the puck in the high slot on a feed from Sidney Crosby. He'll have to reset things over to the Penguins' end.
And so if you're going to put those 3 together, nothing against Brunick or Pickering, but I don't think you could have that defense pairing out there with Sid, Gino, and Rusty.
Now Kindle trying to center one to Koivunen, a fight for the puck in the crease, and somehow it stays out.
Koivunen, Mantha, and Kindle all had a whack at that puck in the slot.
Now here's Philip Myers with one. Second attempt, Robertson sails it high in the net on a big juicy rebound from Jari.
Was that ever a juicy rebound? And Robertson got it off the stick quick, but airmailed it.
Matthews in behind Jari's net as the Leafs have it in the Penguin zone. Over at the far corner of the trapezoid, trying to work around Shea to Myers at the far point. He'll swing it around the board, slowed down by Ben Kindle. It gets to the stick of Chris Letang. He'll chip it out to the neutral zone. Pawed down by Ekman-Larsson. Now Kindle's got it with speed in the Leaf zone to Koivunen in the circle. Trying to cut around Robertson. Couldn't. He stole the puck for a moment. Slides it over to Nyes in the corner. And now he'll swing it the other way to the far wall.
Billy Koivunen has to speed up his processor a little bit. His mind is still American Hockey League speed. He's got opportunities. He has skill. He's just got to ramp it up a little bit.
No score with 10:45 to go in this first period. Penguins dump it back into Toronto zone. Riley playing it off the boards. Then Kindle defending him and making it tough, but he does get it away over to the near side as the Leafs break it out to the neutral zone again. Now Tomasino picks up a loose puck at the Leafs logo, brings it down to the far wall. He gets stripped of it. Played over to the near corner for Carlo. He'll swing it around the boards up top. Now Tommy Novak picks up the loose puck, thrown into the boards by Sammy Blais, but it's kept in by Carlson, sends it down to the near corner, rolls over to the far side for Carlo. He'll pitch it up along the far wall, kept in by Wotherspoon. Now it's Philip Hollander, backhand fluttering shot in and out of the glove of Stolars. He's able to sweep it over to the corner. Blais will take it over to the neutral zone and chip it on out. Good pressure from the Penguins here, but still no score. They're out shooting Toronto 3-2 at the moment with just under 10 minutes to go in this first period. Send rink wide to Carlo now for Toronto. He'll dump it down into the Penguins end, take a hard hit from Connor Dewar. The puck spun around the boards, but Brunick whiffed on a clearing attempt. Now he takes the puck back from John Tavares. Played up ahead of the near side. Blake Lizotte takes it up to the neutral zone, but now snaps it back to Carlson and allowed the Penguins to regroup. Back up to Lizotte, near side of the neutral zone. Dumped in but out of play with 9:30 to go in this first period. No score from Toronto. Penguins out shooting the Leafs 4-2. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
If it's happening in baseball,
from backs against the wall to back, the Dodgers cement their dynasty.
It's on MLB Network Radio.
Will Smith, the go-ahead home run in Game 7 of the World Series. Did you dream of this moment?
Every kid does. That's special. I remember that for forever.
Mookie Betts is going to join us.
I love being a Dodger. I love each and every person in here.
MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Under review. And stop making excuses for bad goaltending. And is it bad? Is it horrendous? If you don't win because you don't make a save or two, yeah. The nature of it is the goaltender is responsible for 90% of the action. He's got to stop the puck. Why do we keep making apologies for goaltending? Stop it.
Under review with Mick Kern, 11 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Winnipeg Jets head coach Scott Arniel. Has that number changed with the Olympics compressed schedule for Connor Hellebuck?
He keeps pushing for 82 games, certainly with this year and what's kind of going on. It is something that we seriously have to look at, and if we want to play well into June and to make that run to the Stanley Cup, I need a guy that's going to be able to be fresh for that whole stretch.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
No score here in Canada. Penguins and Leafs with 9:30 to play in the first period. Penguins out shooting Toronto 4-2. Look at a face-off at center ice, though. Once again, Crosby against Matthews. So you've got Crosby, the 38-year-old captain, against Austin Matthews, the 28-year-old captain.
It's interesting. There's 7 teams in Canada. 3 of the 7 teams. So you have 3 U.S.-born captains on Canadian teams, 3 Canadian captains on Canadian teams, and then 1 Swede. That's Michael Backlund in Calgary. So you have as many U.S.-born as Canadian.
Austin Matthews, the 26th captain in Toronto's history, the first from the U.S. and the first non-Canadian since Matt Sundin.
So he's the first U.S.
Correct.
First and only.
First and only.
Yeah.
As Toronto works it out of their zone, Robertson picks it up, hustles it to the near side of the neutral zone, and chips it into the Penguins' end. Maple Leafs will get a change as Malkin swoops it up in behind Jari's net. Now he feeds it to Kindle. Kindle with a nice move around Dakota Joshua. It's chipped down to the Leafs' end near corner.
What a move that was.
He just continues to impress. Tommy Novak at the far corner feeds Kindle. Snaps it up to the point for Shea. Across ice for Letang. He'll bring it down to the near half wall. Now down to the corner. Tough angle shot. On the doorstep was Novak. Couldn't get a clean shot off, though. Toronto looking to clear the puck. Dakota Joshua defended by Ben Kindle again. He'll have to use the cage as a screen. Bring it up the near side.
81 on 81.
Leafs back into the Penguins zone. Now Joshua gets stripped of the puck from Novak. Loose in the near corner as Shea chips it up looking for Kindle, but he's wrapped up by Bobby McMahon.
Yeah, hit the ref, too. Didn't help. Great play by Shea. Tried to chip it up and out. Hit the referee.
8 minutes to go in this first period. We've got no score from Toronto, and now a cough up of a puck from Chris Letang. Gives it right to Nicholas Waugh. Spun around the boards over to the near side. It's pitched up to Ekman Larsson. He unloads. It goes wide of the net. Philip Myers at the far point keeps it alive. To Max Domi half wall. Down to the corner for Sammy Blais. Digs it deep again. In front of Kalle Yarncrook goes Ryan Shea. Can't handle the puck, though. It's pitched over to the near side as Crosby digs it out, but coughs it up to Blais. Bottom of the near circle. He'll curl around, pitch it up near point. Ekman Larsson another drive, and that got deflected upwards by Tristan Jarry. Penguins still can't clear it out yet, but the Leafs will get a change now as they send it deep. 7:15 to go in this first. Still no score.
That was a break for the Penguins. 2 blatant turnovers by the Penguins. And lucky for them, the Leafs had their 4th line out there.
This will be icing by the Pens as Crosby sent it. Or Dewar couldn't handle it. 7:05 to go in this first. No score.
Well, when America needs a power play, EQT delivers. Fueling freedom, strengthening allies, and unleashing U.S. LNG, liquid natural gas, from right here in Pittsburgh. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
Well, America could use a power play right now in the Pittsburgh Penguins. Second best power play in the NHL. Picked up another one in Saturday's loss against Winnipeg. So here they come into the Leaf zone. It's Crosby far half wall. Over to Carlson in the circle. He scores! First goal of the year for Erik Karlsson. And it breaks the ice here in Canada. A 1-0 lead with 6:52 to go in the first.
How did these guys get out here? 87, 53, 19. That's because Noel Acciari went into the room earlier in this period. Sidney Crosby's out here with a mishmash of line with Tomasino and Dewar. You know where this all starts, Joe? The incredible defensive play by Connor Dewar. He strips a Maple Leaf of the puck, quickly gets it up the ice, and the vision of Sidney Crosby is unbelievable. It looked clear as day up here on where Sidney to go with that puck, but down on ice level, that's so difficult. When Sid gains his own coming down the left wing, to thread that pass, to see Erik Karlsson coming late on the play was brilliant. He put it right on the tape. Karlsson didn't have to hesitate. He was able to put it on the stick, off the stick, over the left glove hand of Anthony Stolarz. Maybe a little off the post and in, but it's 1-0 good, guys.
Erik Karlsson's 5th career goal against Anthony Stolarz. This is his 8th career game. That leads the team.
Also, it's his first goal this season. And going back to last season, it's his 2nd goal in his last 27 games.
The Penguins lead 1-0. They're out shooting Toronto 5-3, 6:10 to go in this first period. Puck's back in the Leafs zone. Matthew Nyes sends it slowly to the near corner. Carlo swings it out to Riley. Carlo got hit into the boards by Connor Dewar, continues to stay physical. This is his former team first game against the Maple Leafs since being traded last year to the Penguins. Sent deep as Pickering swings it up along the near side. On it to Brunick, who feeds Kindle. Now back to Pickering with speed through the far side of the neutral zone. Swings it back into the Leafs zone. Ekman Larsson curls it over to the far side. Pickering at the far half wall tries the puck away from McMahon. Now it's coughed up, taken by Koivu, and in the slot we get a whistle blown. This is going to be on the Pens. It's going to be on Owen Pickering interference.
Pittsburgh penalty number 38, 2 minutes for interference.
So the Penguins on the kill when we come back. They lead 1-0 though with 5:32 to go in the first. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone. Whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Gluten-free, check. Keto-friendly, check. Low-carb, check. High-protein, check. Nitrate-free, check. Flavorful and satisfying, check. When you want a meat snack that checks all the boxes, try the original Mr. Donair Beef Jerky and Sticks. With 12 grams of protein and just 80 calories, it's beef jerky like no other. Mr. Donair, the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now available on Amazon.
With the NHL app, you can listen to every NHL game right from your phone. And with home and away broadcast feeds, you choose your way to listen. Whether you're at work, at the gym, or stuck in traffic, the NHL app puts you right in the action all season long. Every team, every game, everywhere you go. Download the NHL app and never miss a moment.
Well, the Penguins are on the kill for the first time tonight, trying to maintain a 1-0 lead against the Toronto Maple Leafs. 5:32 to go in this first. Toronto comes in with the 29th power play in the NHL. And they have just 4 power play goals on the season. This is their 13th game.
Yeah, but they've done well against the Penguins over the last 7 games. When these two teams have got it on, the Leafs power play is 6 for 24. That is a healthy 25%.
We got a false face-off, so we'll do it again. To the right of Tristan Jarry in the Penguins zone. Craig Berube has brought up the rookie Easton Cowan to this top power play unit. He's been impressed with his play. Picked up his first NHL goal on Saturday against Philadelphia. He's to the right of John Tavares. The Leafs control after the draw. Riley walks the line at the high slot. He feeds it to Nylander above the near circle. Downstairs to Cowan. He cuts it over to the far side. Now to the corner to the circle for Matthews. Back to Cowan at the goal line. Takes it over to the wall. Not defended, but still pitches it up to the high slot. One-timer Nylander kicked out of there by Jarry, and a little bit of Tavares too. Now Cowan swings it over to the far side. No Leaf was there. It angles out to the neutral zone.
There's a break there because that was a sweet spot there for Nylander. He loves that one-timer. Right shot, left side of the ice. The pass from Morgan Riley, as the Penguins were able to clear the zone there, the pass from Morgan Riley was not in that sweet spot. Where's the sweet spot in the one-timer? Just inside the back foot. And this one was a little bit towards the middle of his stance, and that's why he didn't get much on it.
1:12 to go on the Pickering interference penalty. Penguins lead 1-0 with 4:40 to go in this first. Leafs bring it into the Penguin zone, and it's quickly swatted out by Chris Letang all the way down.
This is where they miss Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner was the guy, when they dropped the puck back, Mitch Marner was the one-man zone entry on the power play. And now this is the third time the Leafs have come up the ice, and they can't get inside the Penguin zone.
Speaking of one-man, what a one-man effort by Connor Dewar just now. Broke off a pass, then stole the puck away from one of the Leafs on the far side by diving down to the ice and then cleared it on down. And now the Leafs are offside with 37 seconds to go on the Penguins penalty kill.
And oh, by the way, did I tell you this Penguins penalty kill before this power play right here, 37 seconds left to Owen Pickering, are killed 15 of the last 16 over the last 5 games.
Yeah, they had 3 kills in Winnipeg. Lost that game, saw their 8-game point streak come to an end, but Blake Lizotte doesn't quite win the draw, but still pushes the puck over to the Leafs zone, and now Connor Dewar sweeps the puck away and clears it down again.
Penguins going with a 1-3 formation here in the neutral zone, and they're stacking the blue line. It's frustrating the Leafs.
Wicked bounce off the near corner. Luckily, it still went wide of the net in the Penguins zone, and it's cleared down again by Blake Lizotte. 10 seconds to go on the Penguins PK.
And then when you add in winning puck battles like that and being physical, you can really not only build momentum as we tick it down here 2-1-0, Pickering out of the box. You should be able to build some momentum from this penalty kill as the puck goes into the Toronto Maple Leafs bench. That's an outstanding penalty kill. Was that the only shot? Maybe the Nylander half-hearted one-timer?
I think so. Did that end up right on the doorstep when Tavares was poking at it too?
Yeah,
or was
maybe.
Then that was the only one. And again, that came in the first half minute. So now we'll get a face-off to the right of Stolarz in Toronto's end. Crosby to take the draw. Malkin muscling his way through, and he clears it up to the point for Pickering. DeBrunic on the near side. Takes it along the wall, then gets stuffed into the boards by Dakota Joshua. Malkin coughs up the puck. Matthews fighting for it. It rolls over to the near side. Now Crosby dives in, pulled away by Malkin at the near boards. DeBrunic, a wrister, didn't get through traffic the way he wanted it to. McCabe will play to the far side. Off the wall it goes and dug out by McMahon.
Oh, big collision. Sidney Crosby and Brian Rust. And Sid fell into Rusty, and Brian Rust gets up, and he is hopping on one leg, putting no weight on his right leg at all. As Sid was hunting McCabe, and as Sid fell forward, he fell right into the right leg of Brian Rust.
Penguins are already without Noel Acciari right now, and Rust still leaning over the bench right now in some pain. They lead 1-0 over the Leafs. 2:38 to go in this first period. Ville Koivunen sends it deep down to the Leafs' end. Kindle chases it down from the corner. He fed it to Koivunen, jumped off his skate though.
Wasn't ready for it.
Shea over to the corner, down to the goal line. Trying to get past Kindle, but swings it up to the boards. The near point for Letang. He sends it rink wide, looking for Kindle in the corner. He'll kick it over to the near side, but Sammy Blais is there to pitch it up, but not out. Koivunen kept it alive, settled down the puck in the slot from Novak. Now Letang at the near half wall, up to Koivunen. Drags it over to the far circle. Shea Arister in and out of the glove. Puck pops up in the air, and they score! On the doorstep to force it home. Ben Kindle looking for his 4th goal of the season, and it looks like he's got it.
What a shift. That was incredible. The Leafs had the puck on their stick 3 times, and they couldn't clear the zone. Great job by the Penguins. And finally, it goes around the horn, the top of the umbrella, eventually to Ryan Shea. And his shot goes off of the glove. He tries to go top cheese on Stolarz. It hits the glove hand, goes straight up in the air. Now, the question is, was it actually Kindle who knocked it in?
Right.
And if he did, was it over? Here's a call.
Call on the ice is as follows. The puck was originally struck by a high stick by Blue. It then deflected off a Pittsburgh player into the net. This is considered a good goal.
That's interesting. Well, you have to listen to the wording of that. Off of Blue first. Off of Blue first. But still, it's the crossbar. When it comes to goals, it's if the stick is above the crossbar. Now, the crossbar is 4 feet high. Ben Kindle isn't that much higher than that. But here, I think it was Riley, right, Joe?
Did he misspeak? Why say blue?
Why is he saying? Because the original deflection above the shoulder or above the crossbar, because this is where stoppage of play comes in. If blue hit the puck over the shoulder and then blue touches the puck again, stop. It's dead. Everything's dead. It stops. Time. Everything stops right there. But when it is Riley that hits the puck, right? We're watching the replay together. Riley hits the puck over the shoulder. But after that, Toronto doesn't touch the puck again. So you don't have the stoppage.
They don't have full possession of the puck because it looks like it got pushed in by Stolar's left skate. On that last look.
Okay, that's not possession.
Correct.
Yeah. But does Kindle touch it?
I don't think Kindle touches it. I don't think Novak touches it either. You see it tumbling and watch.
Okay, then it's Ryan Shea's goal. Here's your call.
After video review, the call on the ice was confirmed as described.
Kindle never touched it. It's Ryan Shea's goal. And that's a great eye by you to see that. And all that chaos and sticks and bodies and legs and skates going all over the place. I don't think Kindle ever touches it.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah.
In real time, it looked like he may have.
It did. Because the stick was coming down and forward into the goal. But I don't think he ever touches it. Well, and you're right. But you said no possession.
Right.
Right? So there is a high stick by Riley. But then there's no possession of the puck after that to blow it down. And is it Stolarz who's scrambling? Is he the one who finally edges it over the goal line?
I think so. Yeah. I think he touches it last.
Wow, is that a crazy play?
But now after the fourth or fifth replay, I mean, the Amazon broadcast, I think, is really trying to make this Kindle's goal. There may have been a slight touch. There it touches Riley, but did Kindle get a slight deflection after Riley?
I don't think he did.
Puck?
I don't think. Yeah, and I agree with you. I think the way that Riley went down, here's the puck goes up in the screen. We could talk a little bit more about this. I think the way that everybody went towards Kindle, because they thought like we did, and Kindle was leading the conga line to the bench. Dun, 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 right? It looked like, and I don't blame you, Ben. You're right there. Your stick's going forward. All the momentum of getting that puck. But I don't think Ben Kindle ever touched the puck. I think it is going to be Ryan Shea's goal.
Well, they still have yet to update it on NHL.com, but it is a 2-0 lead for the Penguins with less than 2 minutes to go in the first. And right now they do have it as Kindle's goal. We'll keep an eye on that as Malkin sends it deep. Shea plays it off the wall. Now a tough angle snapshot that Stolarz keeps out. Leafs bring it back up the other way. Snap pass cross ahead looking for Nylander, but Letang broke up that stretch pass. Penguins reset in their own zone. Now Tomasino in the Maple Leaf zone, near corner, curls around the net, plays it over to the far side. Wotherspoon a drive wide of the net. Over to the near side, Carlson in the circle. He goes cross ice to Tomasino, up to Wotherspoon, high slot. Back to Crosby, tries to bat it home, can't get it past Matthews. Now Carlo will take it over to the far side, shovel it a tumbling puck into the Penguin zone. Snapped ahead to Russ. Carlson gets it back over to Wotherspoon. Under a minute to go in this first period. Penguins with a 2-0 lead over the Leafs. Crosby, backhand, shovels it over to Hollander. He wasn't ready for the pass in the slot. Now Matthews takes it the other way with some speed in the Penguin zone. The near side, downstairs to Robertson. Hit the near post, did Matthews with a wrister. Played back by the Penguins. Wotherspoon in the near side. Chips it down to the corner. Played off the wall. Carlo picks it up in behind the Maple Leafs net. Swung over to the near side. Matthews swings it up the boards. It's taken away by Robertson with 25 seconds to go in the first. Carlo sends it right on net. Stick save by Jari. He'll slide it over to the side to Chris Letang. 15 seconds to go. Penguins with a 2-0 lead. Up ahead to Ryan Shea with 10 to go. Chips it down to the Leafs end, near corner. Morgan Riley takes a hit from Ben Kindle. Fight for the puck in the near corner with 2 seconds left. One. And after 20 minutes here in Toronto, the Penguins with a 2-0 lead. Erik Karlsson's first goal of the season and what we believe to be Ben Kindle's fourth goal of the season in his 11th NHL game. Penguins lead 2-0 through 20 here at Scotiabank Arena.
Well, I did my 2-minute interview with Ben Kindle. I asked him, any interest in the Leafs? And I tell my kids, never use this word. But he said, I hate the Leafs. And my dad hates the Leafs too. I hope this goal goes to Ben Kindle. But I truly also believe the Penguins built a lot of momentum off that penalty kill. The Leafs had nothing to write home about. They had nothing. Frustrated, turning pucks over. They couldn't even get zone entry. And the Penguins got the momentum and were able to get that second goal after Karlsson's beauty to put them up 1-0. That second goal is a big one right there for the Penguins because there are going to be some itchy butts in the seats here for Leafs fans.
The Penguins needed a good start to forget what happened a few nights ago in Winnipeg. They got a good start. 2-0 over the Leafs. After 20 minutes here from Scotiabank Arena, Brian Metzer is standing by. He'll have the first intermission report for us as the Pens lead the Leafs by 2. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What are two things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or want expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local Cat dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
Looking for a delicious power play off the ice? Download the GetGo app and get a free 6-piece order of juicy all-white meat chicken nuggets, plus a dipping sauce of your choice. Or are you craving something that could satisfy the appetite of a Penguins player after sudden death overtime? Good news, the Pilgrim is served. Gobble up the traditional holiday favorites of roasted turkey, tangy cranberry, savory gravy, and crispy tots piled high on delicious stuffing bread for a limited time. GetGo, the official convenience store of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Do you know an educator that goes above and beyond for their students? Highmark and the Pittsburgh Penguins want to celebrate the educators who make a difference every day. Nominate an outstanding educator for the Highmark Most Valuable Educator Contest for their chance to win the ultimate away game trip, including round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and tickets to see the Penguins take on the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden on February 28th. Nominate your favorite educator today at pittsburghpenguins.com/contests. That's pittsburghpenguins.com/contests. This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our first intermission report where the Penguins lead the Toronto Maple Leafs 2-0 after one period of play at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Brian Metzer here with you in our Penguins Radio Network studios in Pittsburgh. And the Penguins off to a pretty solid start through the first period of play up in Canada. It was Erik Karlsson getting them on the board at 13:08 with a beautiful shot set up by Sidney Crosby and Philip Tomasino. They fed Karlsson as he came down the right wing, and he lashed a shot up, picking the short side corner over Anthony Stolarz, and just a great shot by him to give the Penguins a 1-0 lead. They weren't done, though, as a little bit later on in the period, Ben Kindle, as of this moment, has his fourth of the season. It came at 17:56. There could be some changes happening with it. It looks like there's a chance it could go to Ryan Shea. If you've been following along with us here, you heard Phil Bourque and Joe Brand discussing this and trying to break it all down because there was a mash of bodies, there were high sticks, there were all kind of things going on. But at this moment, Ben Kindle looks to have his fourth goal of the season as he crashed to the net and maybe had that puck go off of him and in for a 2-0 lead. But regardless, it is a 2-0 lead for the Penguins. Penguins did have to kill a penalty at 14:28. Owen Pickering went for interference. They were able to get that kill, and they outshot the Leafs in the period 8-5. When we come back, we are going to catch up with Michael Agello from the Hockey Hot Stove, and he will join us next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Pittsburgh Penguins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Penguins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, the old score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Hey, Pens fans, Colby Armstrong here. As the official security partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the local team here at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses throughout southwestern PA. They are headquartered here. Their families eat, shop, and go to school and church in our communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/pens for a free security assessment that will address your unique needs. That's vectorsecurity.com/pens.
You know, I should have been a hockey player. My finances are 100% in the penalty box.
You should just put all that debt on ice.
Yeah, but how?
Well, when you get a home equity total line of credit, you can use that money toward making home improvements, consolidating debt, or anything really.
Where'd you learn that?
I just made S&T Bank my bank, and they can also be your bank. You just got to drop the puck.
When it's time to set up a winning strategy, S&T Bank will get you in the game. Stop by a branch today or visit stbank.com/PensRadio to learn more. S&T Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
The Penguins ahead of the Maple Leafs 2-0 after one period of play in Toronto. Brian Metzer here with you, and now very pleased to be joined by Michael Agello. You know him as the co-host of Off the Post Radio. He's now the co-managing editor of Hockey Hot Stove, where he covers the Toronto Maple Leafs as well. Mike, welcome back to the broadcast. How you been, my friend?
Mr. Metzer, it's always a pleasure to speak to you.
Yes, it's always awesome to catch up with you, my friend. And jumping into these Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm sure they're not thrilled with a 2-0 deficit to the Penguins. However, they've been playing some much better hockey lately. I know they started the season with just 3 wins in their first 8 games, but now 3 in their last 4. What have you seen from them this season in the early going?
Well, October was pretty much a slog for them. I mean, they were 5-2-1 at home, but until they won on Saturday in Philadelphia, they were winless on the road. And their goaltending and their team defense have not been anywhere close to where they were last year. Last year, they were 4th in the league in goals against, and this year they have a negative goal differential, and Anthony Stolarz has basically been handling the goaltending all by himself with Joseph Wall on a leave of absence. And as you see from what he's playing tonight, he's not up to the task of being a number one goaltender. He just can't play that many games.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about him specifically because he kind of came out of nowhere last year after being I wouldn't call him a journeyman per se, but in a way he was. And then he really solidified himself as maybe a starting goaltender in this league. And I've noticed some deficiencies there. Is that what you think it is? He's just being used too often at the moment?
Yeah, in a game against Buffalo, a loss against Buffalo, after the game, some Toronto reporters saw him with bags of ice on both knees. Last year, he played less than 40 games. Joseph Wall played more. He had 2 months off with knee surgery in the middle of the year. He played very well. He had the best save percentage. I think it was .926 in the league last year, but he just can't simply carry the workload of a number one goaltender, and because of Wall's absence, he was forced into duty and played 8 games in October. And if you look at the statistics, they paled by comparison to last year.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it. How much, I know Nylander was out for a couple games there. How much did they miss him? And is it safe to say, I know there's been this debate going on around the league, has he become the best Maple Leafs player, jumping ahead of some of his teammates that are on the same roster who are also very talented?
He's been the most consistent player. I mean, Matthews was injured for most of last year and only scored 33 goals. Yeah. And Nylander has been a 40-plus goal scorer. But it's still Matthews. He's the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, if he scores 45 to 50 goals, this team is going to be top 3 in the Atlantic Division. If he slumps again or if he is injured again, then they may be in trouble because they don't have the safety blanket of Mitch Marner there any longer.
I wanted to ask you in closing here, Mike, we have about a minute left, but how's Chris Tanev doing? I know that was a scary situation the other night. He was placed on IR, and I didn't, in the moment, I guess in the replays I saw, I didn't think it looked all that bad, but it's scary stuff when a guy gets stretchered off the way that he was.
Yeah, it's scary in the fact that 10 days before the game against Philadelphia, he was concussed by Dawson Mercer and went on IR for a little over a week and came back. And in his first game back, it was clearly a concussion, but it didn't seem like something predatory on the part of Mishkov. And they took the precautions that were necessary, and that's a good thing. But 2 concussions in the span of 2 weeks for a defenseman who's probably their most valuable blue liner is something that they're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Mike. Hey, thank you so much for the time here tonight, my friend. It's great catching up with you on the network, as it always is, and let's do this again very soon, please.
Anytime, Brian. Thanks.
Yep, that is Michael Agello. You can find him at Mike in Buffalo, PHWA member. He's the co-host of Off the Post Radio, as I mentioned, and then you can read all his stuff over at Hockey Hot Stove, where he is a co-managing editor of that website. When we come back, a couple of news bites from around the National Hockey League, and you'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Do you know an educator that goes above and beyond for their students? Highmark and the Pittsburgh Penguins want to celebrate the educators who make a difference every day. Nominate an outstanding educator for the Highmark Most Valuable Educator Contest for their chance to win the ultimate away game trip, including round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and tickets to see the Penguins take on the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden on February 28th. Nominate your favorite educator today at PittsburghPenguins.com/contests. That's PittsburghPenguins.com/contests.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit MEPPI.com/careers.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
And welcome back into our first intermission report, where the Penguins lead the Maple Leafs 2-0 after one period of play. Brian Metzer back here with you, and the big news in the league today is a big game coming to Dallas, Texas. The Jerry Dome, AT&T Stadium, is going to host a pseudo outdoor game in 2027. It'll happen on February 20th of that year. And I don't know that it's a true outdoor game there. It does have a bit of an opening in its roof, but it's, we've seen a lot of these games happen where there is some warm weather environments getting them. So we'll see this take place in Dallas. It should be an exciting thing with the Dallas Stars being the host team there, obviously. Their opponent will be named at a later date, so we'll keep you posted on that. Speaking of keeping you posted, you've heard a lot of talk about Tristan Jarry playing in his 300th NHL game tonight. Well, he is the third goaltender in Penguins history to reach 300 games with the team, and his 157 wins entering tonight are the most by a Pittsburgh goaltender through 300 games in franchise history. So while he's had some ups and downs, that's a pretty impressive statistic that he will hold now as being the winningest goalie through his first 300 games with the club. So congrats to him, and we'll see if he can't wrap up a nice win here tonight for this team with a 2-0 lead going to the second. Speaking of the second, you'll have second period action, and Joe Brand and Phil Bork will have it for you right here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Do you pretend to understand tax codes and things like, I don't know, adjusted gross income? Want to casually drop terms like macroeconomic headwinds? And actually know what they mean? Tune to the SiriusXM business channels. They break down stuff like tariffs and trade policy. Get the latest on inflation, the economy, and taxes. Everything from Wall Street to Washington. From career advice or learning about ETFs. Seriously, what are those? The SiriusXM business channels can help. Starting at channel 112 and on the SiriusXM app. Just search business.
We deliver the NHL.
Head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brindamore. What's the mental approach to get to the dance?
Every year you start at the same spot as every team, right? Like you're at the bottom of the mound. And when we get to that point, if we can, then we can knock down the final kind of stretch high where we haven't been able to cover, So let's make the best out of every day and play our ass off every night and see what happens.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, this show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Ford Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, scores!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The world's fastest game.
Right over the pass and they score! John Tavares!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
"20 minutes in the books here from Toronto, and at the moment, Ben Kindle still has his 4th career NHL goal. The Pens with a 2-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. All in all, that was just a very solid start, one that the Penguins needed to have, Borky.
Let's check a bunch of boxes here, okay? Because Erik Karlsson got the party started with his goal. And for Erik Karlsson, that's only his 2nd point in his last 10 games here in Toronto. His last one, it was a goal with the Sharks in 2021. You got Tomasino on the board, you got Koivunen on the board, and you got 18-year-old Ben Kindle scores a goal with 2:04 left in the first period. A lot of good things for the Penguins in that first frame.
Koivunen's first point of the year. Same thing for Philip Tomasino as Philip Hollander sends a soft wrister that Stolarz nabs out of midair. 2-0 Penguins. Second period underway. Opening faceoff to begin. It's brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better. The Penguins in their road white sweaters attacking from right to left with Tristan Jarry in net. Toronto Maple Leafs in their home blue sweaters attacking from left to right with Anthony Stolarz in net.
For Tomasino, that's his first road point in his last 13 games. The Penguins are still without Noel Acciari.
And they will be for the rest of the game, too. The Penguins PR making that clear as Philip Tomasino also picks up his first point of the year against his hometown team. Pens back in the Leaf zone. Russ tried to set up a centering pass to Hollander in the crease, but it was taken away by Benoit. Up ahead to Matthews in the neutral zone. He now dumps it into the Penguins' end, which is on the right side of your radio dial now. Quickly cleared out by Parker Wotherspoon. Crosby in the Leaf zone. Chips it over to the far wall. Karlsson plays it off the boards and sends it deep as the Penguins get a change here. Philip Myers up to the near side, playing in his 16th career game against the Pens. That's the most he's had against any team in his career. Leafs dump it down deep, but it's quickly taken by Ryan Shea. Up ahead to Malkin. He touch passes it back to Mantha with speed in the Leafs zone now to the crease. Leaves it up for Tomasino. High slot. He tried to get it over to Shea, but that was behind him. He still gets it, though. Letang a wrister, and it just sizzled wide of the net on a redirection.
Good decision by Letang to just flick the wrister towards the cage to try to make something happen.
Penn still with it. Shea at the near point in the Leaf zone. Down to the corner as Mantha chops at it. Can't get a clean handle of it. Fight for the puck in the corner as Tomasino swoops in. Got it to Malkin. He chips it up to the high slot. Letang keeps it alive. Turnaround wrister. Pad save from Stolars. Pulled up by Malkin on the near side. Plays it up to the point. Shea a drive. Glove save. Stolars. Some more good pressure for the Penguins right out of the gate here in the second period. They lead 2-0. Almost 2 minutes gone.
Also pushing and shoving here with Ville Koivunen. And that looked like Dakota Joshua. What a good shift that was. Puck retrieval, get it from low to high to the point. Don't try to do anything fancy. Just wrist pucks towards the cage. Make things happen. Then get hungry for the loose puck again. Do it all over again. Low to high. Get it towards the net again. That's when good things happen.
Leafs win the draw, clear it out of their zone. Pickering knocks the puck out of midair in the neutral zone. No high stick called, though, as the Leafs dump it down into the Penguins' end. Pulled quickly out by Pickering to Novak. Cross ice to Koivunen. Dumps it into the Leafs zone. It's pawed down by Riley. Novak gets to it. Plays it off the end wall where Carlo intercepts for the Leafs. Now taken away by Kindle. Centering past Koivunen. Tumbling puck kicked out of there by Stolars.
Beautiful backhand saucer pass from Ben Kindle to Koivunen. Koivunen just didn't get enough on it.
Leafs in the Penguin zone now. It's Austin Cowan. High slot. Poke check by Novak. Kicked the puck over to the far point. But Jake McCabe keeps it alive in the Penguins end. Now Tavares swings it around the boards as Koivunen hacks it out of there. Puck is tumbling on edge into the Leafs zone. And they'll call icing.
Well, building the future, it takes grit. And no one does grit like Pittsburgh. EQT is ready to unleash the build and power America's next big win. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
He's the old 2-9er, Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. Penguins lead the Leafs 2-0 here in the second period. First of 3 matchups between these two teams. They'll actually host Toronto later on this month. The Leafs coming to Pittsburgh on November 29th, and then they'll wrap up the season series before the new year. It'll be the last game before Christmas.
Yeah, the 23rd right here. I don't think I've ever been in Toronto a couple days before Christmas.
Feels like it'd be a magical time of year. Penguins were in Montreal shortly before Christmas last year. Only going to Montreal once this season, though. So the Leafs dump it back down into the Penguins' end, near corner. Kalle Järnkrok slammed into the boards by Owen Pickering. Brunick will pull it over to the far side. He gets stripped of the puck by Domi, but the puck still goes out to the neutral zone. Now Kindle's got it and tries to unload, but McCabe got his stick in the way of a shot.
Great strength there by Becker. Look out.
There's a turnover. Dewar feeds Wotherspoon. Now over to Carlson. High slot. Already has his first goal tonight, and a wrister goes wide on the block from Stolars. Leafs try to clear it through the neutral zone, but an errant pass gets sent the other way by Carlson. Now taken by Jake McCabe. He'll clear it off the near boards, and it's dumped back in by Blake Lizotte. Around the wall to the far half boards for Ekman Larsson. Swung over to the near side. Lizotte gets to it first. Chips it down to the corner. McCabe plays it off the wall. He'll fling it over to the far side, up to the point where Malkin keeps it onside with a nice move at the point. Takes it to the hash marks. Far circle. A wrister went wide of the net. The rebound goes all the way down into the Penguins' end.
We talked about the Penguins having a better start than they did in Winnipeg. Check, check, and double check. And they're starting off the second period with some gas, too. As Toronto, we're 4 minutes into the second period. No shots for the Leafs so far in this period.
Puck is right back into Toronto's zone. Around the boards to Letang, far point. Walks the line, snaps it to Shea, near side. Cuts in, above the circle, now to the high slot. Here's a one-timer. Malkin doesn't get through. Loose puck, it's at the top of the crease. And Stolars freezes it.
That one-timer by Evgeny Malkin had flames coming out the backside, and it hit Brian Rust. I'm not sure where it hit him, but he is doubled over. And, oh, man, a lot of pain. And you remember, he had that collision. And it's that same... Is it the same leg or is it the other leg? He's going for a skate right now. Oh, and he also... I don't know if it's the shot. I just watched a reverse replay.
Stolars is reaching for the puck. His blocker hits Brian Rust. Boom! Right up in the undercarriage.
Wow.
First the stick in the undercarriage, and then the blocker, boom, in the undercarriage. I get it, Rusty. I felt it up here.
He has been gone through the ringer. 25 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
Still trying to wear off some of that pain on the Penguins bench as the Leafs clear it down into the Penguins' end. Letang clears it up to the neutral zone for Koivunen. Now racing into the Leafs zone, Novak poked free by Toronto. McCabe will spin it forward in the neutral zone, taking it into the Penguins' end. Far corner, centering pass, didn't connect. Played off the near wall, and the Penguins take it back. Here's Kindle in transition. Penguins in the Leafs zone. Novak high slot. Wrister doesn't get through. Koivunen nearly tucked it home, but it just went wide.
Billy Koivunen has got to take up, I mentioned this, his thinking. That puck was right there. All he has to do is get really strong on the stick and chip it in. He just didn't bear down.
Nice play by Novak, dragging the puck in the high slot, just waiting at the exact right moment. The Penguins still with a 2-goal lead. 5 minutes gone in this second period, out shooting the Leafs 4-0 in this period. 12-5 in the game. Now Malkin through the neutral zone, dumps it down to the far corner. Tomasino racing after it, hacks at the puck, gets to the near corner. Around the end boards to Mantha. He works around the defense of Nicholas Waugh. Now Malkin swings it over to the far side. Up top to Pickering. He couldn't handle the pass near point.
He wasn't ready for it. And then when he finally realized, oh, it's coming to me, he wasn't strong enough on the stick.
Dump back into the Leaf zone. Around the boards to the far side. Dakota Joshua peels it out. Tomasino couldn't keep hold of the puck, though, as McMahon poked it out to the neutral zone. Penguins take it right back. Here's Mantha in the Leaf zone. Far side. Chipped it down to the end wall. Tomasino gets in front. Now it's taken by Lizotte. Far corner. Up top to Brunick at the point. Pickering on the near side. Sends it down wide of the net. Off the end boards as Lizotte races after it. He races it up the near boards. Shovels it to Pickering. He risks one. Got deflected. Goes over to the near side now on a loose puck. As Blake Lizotte gets taken down to the ice by McMahon. Now McMahon loses his stick in the process. He's keeled over the puck at the near half wall. Penguins still trying to dig the puck out. They get it to Wotherspoon. Over to Carlson off the bench. Unloads. Saved by Stolars. Puck over to the far point. Still by Carlson. Another one-timer just wide of the net. The rebound goes all the way off the end wall to the high slot.
Second one by Carlson was low and hard on the ice, looking for a redirect. It hit the yellow kickboard and like a boomerang shot out back into the slot.
Penguins back in the Leaf zone. They're relentless here. Over to the far corner. It's Kindle. He fired a shot off the stick of Dakota Joshua and out of play. The Penguins have come to play in this second period. They lead 2-0. 13:23 to go in the second. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It's crunch time. The Shop and Save Tailgate Zone giveaway is happening right now until December 21st. Grab game day snacks that bring the energy and enter for your shot to win a free tailgate party valued up to $450. Just head in store, find the Tailgate Zone signs, and scan the QR code to enter online. One tailgate party is given away every week. Submit an entry each week to be eligible. Shop, save, enjoy life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. See store for official rules.
Penguins with a 2-0 lead over the Leafs, 13:23 to go in this second period.
Joe, I meant to tell you this. You know that game on Sunday, November the 9th? It's an afternoon game against the LA Kings.
Okay.
This is Military Appreciation Game.
That's right.
So come celebrate the Military Appreciation Night presented by 84 Lumber at PPG Paints Arena on November the 9th as the Penguins take on the Kings. All fans in attendance receive a camo hat. That's awesome. Presented by 84 Lumber. Puck drop. It's 2 o'clock. Get your tickets today at PittsburghPenguins.com.
I don't know if I told you this, but tickets are 30% off.
That's crazy, man. You got the Caps, Ovi coming in, and the LA Kings, Kopitar coming in, 30% off both those games. Wow.
PittsburghPenguins.com. Early Black Friday sale already started.
And an afternoon game, Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Bring the kids. Get a camo hat.
And root against the Caps. The Kings. Caps before.
Root against both of them.
Yeah, you can always do that. Leafs are back in the Penguin zone, but now it's pulled away. Carlson in behind Jari's net.
Kenny Malcolm was screaming to the referee for a penalty. He felt that Austin Matthews fell on the puck and pinned the puck to the ice with his hand.
Carlson and Matthew Nyes tangled up over on the Penguins, and Nyes screaming at the official on his way back to the bench. His bucket's still sitting on the ice, too.
Don't forget who the head coach is of this Toronto Maple Leafs team. Let's see if the Toronto Maple Leafs can see something. Look out.
Tommy Novak steals the puck away, tries to feed it to Koivunen, a little out of his reach on the near side of the Leaf zone. Took his time with the puck, defended by Tavares, and poked free to the near point. Sent deep again as Kindle takes a hard hit into the end boards. Now played along the near wall. It's taken out by Robertson. He'll hustle it up to the neutral zone for the Leafs. Gets it over to Easton Cowan. Stripped to the puck by Chris Letang, though. The far corner. Puck now rolls over to the near side.
Here's a big reason why the Leafs still don't have a shot in this period as we're 8 minutes in. Two things. Penguins are first to all loose pucks, and then when they're not, they're winning just about every puck battle.
Robertson ripped a shot. It went wide, though. One of the Penguins got in the way of it. Domi fighting for the puck in the near corner. Chris Letang pulls it away.
Another puck battle won by Tanger.
Got it to Shea, who sends it up to Koivunen. Tried to feed Sid into the Leaf zone. Stolen away, though, by Toronto. Now up ahead as Kelly Yarncrook dumps it down to the far corner. Shea plays it off the boards. Got away from a hard hit from Yarncrook. As the tumbling puck goes over to the near corner, Chris Letang chips it all the way down to the Leafs end. And Crosby hustles after it, but not quickly enough. It'll be icing by the Pens. 2-0 they lead with 11:20 to go in the second.
Well, if the $400 million Powerball jackpot tonight wasn't enough for you, you can double down tomorrow night. Because the Mega Millions jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $800 million. Yeah, $800 million. Don't forget to play your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly.
2-0 Pens, second period. As Toronto now has it in the Penguin zone, but Sidney Crosby takes the puck away from Nicholas Robertson. Chipped up into the air, pawed down by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Will send it the other way into the Pen zone. Ryan Shea pushes it up ahead, but it jumped off the stick of Mantha. Now the Leafs re-rack in the neutral zone. It's Riley to Nylander at the Penguins' end, near half wall. Slides it on net, saved by Jari. That's the first shot on goal for Toronto in the second period. We're about halfway through, and now the Pens with a bit of 2-on-1. Tomasino, a drive goes wide. Rebound off the end wall all the way back to the neutral zone. Brunick will handle it.
That was a 2-on-1. Tomasino and Mantha. And Tomasino, right-hand shot, left side of the ice, so he's in better shooting angle. I think the puck was going to go wide anyways, but I also think it hit the very tip of the glove of Anthony Stolarz.
10:30 to go in the second. Penguins with a 2-0 lead. Brunick up ahead to Hollander, and the Penguins are offside now.
So you want to go back? You want to circle back to that story about the Hex?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Larry Hillman, who won Stanley Cups, he actually won 6 of them total between Detroit, Toronto, and Montreal. So after winning the Cup at 67, he was up for a pay raise. They didn't give it to him. So he comes to camp. He's out of camp for 24 days and a $100 a day fine, which is $2,400. He puts a Hex on the team because they won't give him his raise. So, get this. This is a fine with interest, by the way. We got a whistle here. Okay, I have time. Okay, so in 2017, when Brendan Shanahan was the president of the team, he heard about this. So he went to Larry Hillman, who, by the way, passed away in 2022 at the age of 85. But in 2017, Brendan Shanahan went back to Larry Hillman said, please, Larry, take the hex off of this team. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967. He said, I will, but I want the $2,400 back plus interest. Shanny said, okay. He just started peeling off honeycuts left and right. He paid off Hillman, but somehow the hex is still on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, coming from Chicago, I know that there's nothing to snuff about potential curses on sports teams. But that being said, they can be broken. Right now, the Penguins with a 2-0 lead over Toronto, under 10 minutes to go in the second period. Rudnick over to Pickering in the Leafs zone. Dumped in. Stolars will play it in behind his net. Send it up ahead. Now Nicholas Waugh gets stripped of the puck. It's Malkin in between the rings. Cuts in. Denied by Stolars. But a penalty by Toronto. High slot, it's Carlson on a delayed penalty here. To the corner for Brian Rust. In the circle. Up top to Wotherspoon. 6-on-5 for the Pens right now. Carlson over to Crosby. Far circle. Trying to get it to Malkin. Broken up by the Leafs, but the Penguins still have it. Rust at the hash marks, near side, cross ice stolen by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and Philip Myers will go to the box, and the Penguins will go to the power play for the first time tonight. They lead 2-0, looking to add on with 9:16 in the second. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The Dodgers cement their dynasty.
The only thing harder than winning that title is defending it. Tune to MLB Network Radio for up-to-the-minute coverage of baseball's hot stove season as teams take their first steps towards the 2026 World Series.
The hot stove is burning.
Every trade, every signing, live on-site coverage from baseball's winter meetings in Orlando. Hear it all on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the SiriusXM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on SiriusXM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Well, the second best power play in the NHL is about to go to work for the first time tonight. A 2-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Penguins with Sidney Crosby, Ben Kindle, Brian Rust, Evgeny Malkin, and Erik Karlsson have a man advantage. Toronto coming into this game with the 10th best penalty kill. They've knocked off 10 of their last 11. Sid will take the draw, and the Penguins win it. Karlsson above the circle, downstairs to Crosby, on the crease, shot fired, gets blocked. Fight for the puck in the near corner, Russ gets to it, swings it around the boards, looking to get it to Sid. He muscles it away from Jake McCabe. Russ pokes it up to Karlsson, who walks the blue line. Near circle for Russ, curls around, downstairs for Ben Kindle. Now back up to Karlsson, over to Malkin above the far circle. Karlsson high slot now. Back to Malkin in the circle. Snapped over to Kindle, near circle, up to Karlsson, high slot. Malkin one-timer, pad save Stolars. McCabe in the far corner, clears it up and out, just out of the reach of Karlsson in the neutral zone.
Adjustment there from Evgeny Malkin. In the past, he tries to go far post and in, and it's a clear for the opposition.
Karlsson feeds Kindle, wrister, doesn't get through. Fight for the puck in the crease, Malkin's got it, somebody's missing a stick. And it's Ben Kindle. He'll race to the bench, get a new one. Now Crosby, near circle, loaded up, never unloaded. Still held on. Malkin, a drive, doesn't get through. Malkin plays the rebound to the far wall. Final minute of this Penguins power play. He orders Russ to shovel the puck away. Kindle, a drive. He scores! What a shot! Ben Kindle, his second goal of the night. And it's 3-0 Pens.
I told you he hates the Leafs. His dad hates the Leafs more than he does. Ben Kindle. I mean, the velocity and the pinpoint accuracy of this 18-year-old kid is incredible. He goes to the bench. Nobody's going to stick ready for him. John Taglin, and then he's down the other end. So he figures it out. Oh, I need to go down here. Let me get a stick from Tags. He comes out, makes his way over to a soft spot, takes a perfect pass. Right-hand shot, left side of the ice. That little curl and drag that he has, Joe, and boom, he snaps it off the near post and in, and the Penguins lead 3-0.
And it's that stoic nature that this 18-year-old brings. That definitely played a part. There's just a great shot just a moment ago of Sid and Kindle on the bench, both chucking up a big smile after Ben Kindle's got his 5th career NHL goal, his 2nd of the night.
Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. You belong, and you know you belong.
So a power play goal from Benny the Kid. 3-0 Pens with under 8 to go in the second period, and this is a quiet group at Scotiabank Arena right now.
Well, they only got one shot. That was a little dribbler from Domi early in the second period. The Leafs are now being outshot 18-6. They've been a no-show here in the second period.
Penguins stay red hot on the power play. The Pens reworking their own zone. Robertson wraps up Pickering along the boards, but the Penguins come away with it. Up ahead to Blake Lizotte, now into the Leaf zone. Above the circle, shot fired. Blocker saves Stolarz.
He had no idea what that was, Joe.
Yeah, almost leaked through. Pens keep it alive. Pickering at the point. He rips one. Doesn't get through traffic. Raced down by Morgan Riley. He'll chip it out to the neutral zone. Pickering around the Leafs logo. Got it ahead to Lizotte, but caught back up the other way. And Brunick now taking his time with it in the Penguin zone. Snaps it up ahead to Malkin, who knifed it in the Leaf zone. Slide over to Philip Myers. There's Dakota Joshua. Drops it down into the Penguins' end. Far corner, played off the wall by Erik Karlsson. 3-0. The Penguins lead the Leafs. 6:25 to go in this second. The Penguins ice it down.
I want to add one more neat little story. I was talking about that Larry Hillman hex on the Leafs. You know, when he won his first cup with Detroit, I thought it was kind of funny. In 1955 with Detroit. He won it at the age of 18 years, 2 months, and 9 days. That'll never be broken because they changed the rule. Now you have to have turned 18 by September the 15th of that year to be eligible for the National Hockey League.
Wow.
So he turned 18 back in May, and now the rule has changed. So Larry Hillman will always be the youngest.
Penguins steal the puck away again in the Leaf zone. Over to Wotherspoon near point. Wrister pinballed around. Stolarz keeps it out. And Malkin throws McCabe into Stolarz. And McCabe's not happy. He's wrapped up Gino over in the corner. Russ comes in. And there's a whole gathering along the boards.
Yeah, there's no need for Gino. You're up 3-0. 6:02 to go in the second period. You're on the road. There's no need to stir the pot. Don't rile them up. Everything's going your way, Gino. McCabe didn't do anything to you. And a lot of times referees will look at that and they'll just take Gino. Gino just needs to be smarter in those situations and not let his emotions be involved.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a lip from McCabe, who was in front of Evgeny Malkin. I caught him upstairs. I think that's what resulted in Malkin shoving him down, but I totally get what you're saying. The Penguins have all the momentum right now.
Part of leadership is discipline.
Yeah. It'll be a face-off. Back in the Leaf zone, Tommy Novak wins it. 3-0 the Penguins lead with 6 minutes to go in this second period.
Did I tell you that we're on hat-trick watch with Ben Kindle?
We are on hat-trick watch for Ben Kindle. Imagine telling the fans that during training camp this year. Against the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto. His 11th NHL game. Puck in the Penguins zone, but Ville Koivunen races it down along the near wall. Sends it rink wide. Kindle plays it off the boards. Shovels it across ice to Chris Letang into the Leafs end. Down to the corner, along the goal line. Backhands it off the far wall to Kindle at the half boards. Snapped it back the other way, but it's right to the stick of Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Now up ahead to Nyes. Austin Matthews, far circle, shot fired, saved by Jari. Loose puck in the crease. It's taken away by Koivunen. Best chance for the Leafs so far, and Jari all over it.
Oh, Jari out-challenging Matthews and trusting his reflexes to make that right toe save.
Austin Matthews lost his stick. He'll race to the neutral zone to get it. A drive by Brunick in and out of the glove of Stolarz as Philip Tomasino gets crunched into the wall in the far corner. Leafs cough it up again in the neutral zone. Taken away by a hustling Blake Lizotte. Carries it down to the near corner in Toronto's end. Riley slammed into the boards by Tomasino.
That's what you want to see from Tomasino. Get involved, Phil.
He's picked up his first point of the night. An assist against his hometown team, and the Penguins with a 3-0 lead right now with 4.5 to play in the second period. Chucked up along the near wall. Tomasino looks to thread the needle to Evgeny Malkin, but it's taken away by Jake McCabe. He'll curl around in his own end, send it rink wide to Sammy Blais. Couldn't handle the pass, swatted back by Wotherspoon, but right to the stick of Brandon Carlo. Now dumped back into the Penguins' end. That'll be icing by the Leafs. 4:11 to go in the second period. Penguins lead 3-0.
Want some birthdays?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Pecorine, 43. Matt Kartner, 45. Doug Smolek, 55. And former Penguin Jim McKenzie, 56. Happy birthday, boys.
Happy birthday, boys. Penguins out shooting Toronto 13-2 in the second period. Pens win the draw again. And now Domi without a stick in the Leaf zone. Malkin at the far corner, wrapped up along the boards against Carlo. Russ pulls it out. Below the goal line, up top looking for Wotherspoon. Stolen away, though, by Robertson. He'll clear it down.
Rusty didn't realize the Leafs peeled back. Oh, look out.
Oh, a bit of a turnover. Here's Russ feeding Malkin. Never had an opportunity to pull the trigger. Stolarz well out of his net. Crosby whipped on a one-timer, and now Carlson sends a drive that gets blocked by a sprawled-out Sammy Blais. In behind Stolar's net. Sid tries to chip it up. Now a loose puck on the doorstep, but Malkin couldn't get a clean shot off.
Sid, Gino, Russ together again, 5-on-5.
Malkin brings it up to the far half wall. Curls around at the hash marks at the far circle. Down to the corner now, chipped up top. Sammy Blais races after it, takes it away. Got it to Robertson, who cuts through the neutral zone. Now he'll curl around and allow Toronto to get a line change. 3:15 to go in the second period. Penguins lead 3-0. Ben Kindle has 2 goals in this game, and Bobby McMahon just shot it wide of the net.
That's the best chance for the Toronto Maple Leafs, maybe in this whole hockey game. And McMahon blasts it wide from about 15 feet in front of Tristan Jarry, right between the hash marks.
Maple Leafs still sitting on just 2 shots on goal because that went well wide of it.
I'll say this about this fan base. If you can continue to stifle them for now, 2:40 to go here in the second period, you stifle the Toronto Maple Leafs, you will hear the anger and disappointment of the Leafs fans if the Penguins can keep on keeping on here.
Now Matthews in the Penguin zone, tried to drag, shoot, saved by Jarry.
He missed the first 2 attempts, stayed with it, and Jarry. And now we're going to get a penalty on Nylander for tripping. Oh boy. Couple of opportunities for Austin Matthews, couple of big saves by Tristan Jarry, and the Penguins, here's your call.
Toronto penalty, number 88, 2-minute minor, tripping.
Penguins have a chance to pile on.
They've already got a 3-0 lead on the power play when we come back. Penguins Radio Network is presented by S&T Bank.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Our Penguins Pledge champion partners PPG, US Steel, EQT, Wesco, Indra Energy, and Coca-Cola are all committed to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, Visit forthepeople.com or an office near you.
Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Office is Pittsburgh.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Paul Steigerwald. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals over the years. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. They develop solutions that preserve natural resources with the goal to protect and beautify our world. PPG Paints Arena is proud to be the first LEED Gold certified NHL arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
The Penguins with a 3-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ben Kindle with 2 goals tonight. He now ties Matthew Schaefer for most goals by a rookie in the NHL at the moment. He's on hat-trick watch, and he's back on the power play. So are the Pens in the Leaf zone. Carlson high slot to Malkin above the far circle. Down to the corner for Crosby. Back up to Malkin. Carlson one-timer goes off the skate of Carlo. Back down to the corner for Kindle. He feeds Crosby. Far side up to Malkin off the far boards. Down to the circle. Back down to Crosby below the goal line. He curls up around the far circle. Feeds Ross to Ken. Jammed home, not free. Over to the far corner it goes, and it's cleared out by Yarncrook.
And Kendall just looked to the heavens. He can't believe that Stolar's got that left pad down, or maybe he just didn't get a spot to go 5. Well, that was a beautiful setup by Brian Russ to go backdoor onto the stick of Ben Kindle.
1:20 to go on the Penguins power play. Top unit back into the Leaf zone. Carlson downstairs, redirection goes wide, played over to the near side, Kindle up to Crosby, now over to Malkin, far circle, unloads, pad save, loose puck, and he freezes it. Stolar's stick is in the net, and the Toronto goaltender is still able to stop it with a right pad and then freeze it.
And then who was there trying to hack and whack away to try to get another one?
Ben Kindle.
Ben Kindle. And while he was getting drilled from behind from Philip Myers, the kid has no fear. He has no fear at all. He understands, if I go to that area, I'm going to get whacked, but I just might score a couple goals.
Philip Myers looked like a bouncer at a bar. Ben Kindle trying to come in with a fake ID. Nice. 64 seconds to go on the Penguins power play as this one goes out of play. 3-0 Pens with 1:28 to go in the second period.
Shots 15-3 here in the second period. With 1:28 to go in this frame, 1:02 left in the Nylander tripping minor, and the Penguins are up 3.
Face off at the far circle. Tommy Novak wins it. Second power play unit out now with Koivunen at the near half wall. The Letang in the high slot. Shovels it over to Anthony Mantha at the point. Now rink wide to Koivunen, near circle. Back over to Letang, up to Mantha. Wrister, glove save by Stolarz. Reading it through all that traffic. 46 seconds to go on the Penguins power play.
Oh, simple, Joe.
Yep.
They're moving it around. They're making tape-to-tape passes. There's movement also, which is predictable to each other, unpredictable to their opponent. And then when the shot needs to be taken, Anthony Mantha lets it fly. The only thing that was missing there was the net front from Philip Hollander. That if he gets in the eyeballs of Stolarz, better chance. It ended up being a routine glove save by Stolarz because he really didn't have the traffic that was necessary from Philip Hollander.
Top unit back out there for the Penguins power play as they cruise through the neutral zone. It's Malkin over the Leafs line. Got it to Kindle, but quickly stripped of the puck by Nicholas Waugh. Races it down. Carlson getting in front of him, though, in the Penguins zone. Cranked around the boards. Russ back to Carlson with 20 seconds to go on the Penguins power play. It's Crosby. Snaps it over, looking for Russ speeding through. Couldn't connect. Malkin has to recollect.
Maybe one more go here.
There's only 39 seconds left in the period. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Carlson cranks it down into the Leaf zone. Around the board, stopped by Kindle at the point. Up top to Letang off the bench. Now over to the far circle. Crosby. Rust a shot and a pad save Stolarz. Out of the box is Nylander. We're back to 5-on-5. First successful kill for the Leafs tonight as they've got the puck in the Penguins zone. Now Nylander near circle. Ripped a shot wide of the net, but just wide. Malkin plays the rebound from the neutral zone, dumps it down to Toronto's end. 10 seconds to go in the second period. Stretched up all the way ahead. Nylander feeds Waugh. He gets tripped down to the ice. Nothing called, and the fans here are livid.
He toe picked. That wasn't a trip.
And that'll do it for the first two periods here in Toronto with the Penguins leading 3-0. 18-year-old Ben Kindle is a goal away from a hat trick. He's got 5 goals on his NHL career. Tonight is his 11th NHL game, and the Penguins with a 3-0 lead through 40 here in Canada.
Right from that first shift of the second period, Joe, the Penguins went to work. And they knew that was a good first period, but Toronto's going to come out. They're on home ice. This is the first of 4-game homestand for them. They're going to come out better. They never gave Toronto a chance to get better. They won every puck battle. They were first to every puck, and they kept the period simple. What a period by your Penguins.
They outshot the Leafs 16-3 during that 20 minutes. A 3-0 lead over the Leafs, and Brian Metzer is standing by. He'll have the second intermission report for us, along with the chat with the old 2-9er. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Do you know an educator that goes above and beyond for their students? Highmark and the Pittsburgh Penguins want to celebrate the educators who make a difference every day. Nominate an outstanding educator for the Highmark Most Valuable Educator Contest for their chance to win the ultimate away game trip, including round-trip flights, a 2-night hotel stay, and tickets to see the Penguins take on the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden on February 28th. Nominate your favorite educator today at PittsburghPenguins.com/contests. That's PittsburghPenguins.com/contests. Kimberly Clark Professional is proud to be a champion sustainability partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Together, they are driving change to help reduce impact through a commitment to sustainable products and services. Learn more at kcprofessional.com/sustainability.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
Tender Care Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 40 years. To find one of our 20 convenient locations near you, visit tendercarelc.org. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Since FNB has been the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've realized our teams aren't that different. We both have great checking, at home and on the road. With FNB's league-leading banking app, you get access to a deep lineup of checking accounts. And we both know the importance of big saves, like saving you time with our eStore Common app. One application for all your goals. Can your bank do that? Find out at fnb-online.com/eStore. FNB, member FDIC.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with a new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our second intermission report, where the Penguins lead the Maple Leafs 3-0 after 2 periods of play at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Brian Metzer back here with you, and what an enjoyable period of hockey for folks who are supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins here. They held the Leafs to just 3 shots on goal through the second period, put up 16 of their own. And of those 16 shots, one of them came off the stick of Ben Kindle on a power play. It was the new look Benny and the Vets power play that we've seen Dan Muse employ. He's getting the chance out there with Sid, Gino, and company. And Evgeny Malkin fed him a pass on this power play, and he finished with the ease and agility of a cat. And just a great shot by him on the short side at 11:50 of the second period of play, with Philippe Myers in the box for hooking. And the Penguins had multiple scoring opportunities through the period. Evgeny Malkin had a couple of great looks. Just multiple Penguins putting together a number of opportunities. They were only able to get that one goal. However, got to be feeling pretty comfortable with where they are with a 3-goal lead heading to the third period of play. And they managed to stay out of the penalty box. It looked like it might get a little bit heated at one point when Evgeny Malkin drew the ire of the Maple Leafs. They all kind of went after him after he shoved some folks into the goal, and it wasn't the kind of situation you want to see him getting involved with. But again, impressive hockey from the flightless Birds, 16-3 in terms of shots, now outshooting the Leafs for the game 24-8. When we come back here, it is time for some hockey talk with the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, and we'll do that next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com. and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage, used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Protecting your assets should not be. When it comes to insurance, employee benefits, or surety bonding, rely on the industry experts at Suber to help you minimize risk, maximize potential, and improve your bottom line. Suber, an official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all of the electrical and telecommunications needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBW will be here to stand by you for all of your electrical installation needs today and well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
As the official professional products partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Kimberly-Clark Professionals deliver trusted brands like Scott, Kleenex, and Wipe-All to deliver game-ready hygiene solutions that keep facilities clean, efficient, and prepared for action. Learn more at kcprofessional.com.
Here they come over the neutral zone to Rust. He shoots, he scores! Brian Rust with the goal. And you know what that means, folks? Rusty Shakes half off from Milkshake Factory.
You heard that right, Pittsburgh. Brian Rust here letting you know that I'm bringing back Pittsburgh's #1 milkshake. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and hot fudge topped with whipped cream and a chocolate 17. When you hear this, come down to the Milkshake Factory for half-off shakes.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Penguins 3, Leafs nothing after 2 periods of play in Toronto. Brian Metzer back here with you, and joining me now live from Scotiabank Arena, the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. And Borky, it's Ben Kindle's world, but we're all living in it, right? What did you think of his performance here tonight? Pretty solid stuff from the youngster.
No, you're right. His air, we're just allowed to breathe it. What a performance by 18-year-old Ben Kindle. And that's the thing, man. Like, he just keeps getting, every time we see him, you know, last game against Winnipeg, it didn't go well for the Penguins. But his line did not allow a shot 5-on-5. You know, so we're seeing so many different elements to it. Some nights he doesn't quite have it offensively, but then we're just praising on how good he is defensively, whether it's on the back check or it's in the defensive zone coverage, whatever it might be. Yeah. So he shows you different things every single game. And really, when you think about it, Mets, when Rickard Rakell went out, you thought, who are we going to put there? They tried Anthony Mantha for a second. It didn't work, right? They quickly went to Ben Kindle, and it just seems like he's there, like he belongs there now, right? He's not overwhelmed, again, by the opponent or the venue or who he's on the ice against or who he's on the ice with. He just plays. He's just a hockey player, and he's a hell of a hockey player. And for not being that big, he's absolutely fearless.
That's the thing to me that stands out, Borky, is that he doesn't fear anything. He goes into the corners. He goes to the front of the net, which not a lot of Penguins have done in recent years. So he's not shy about doing it. He's got 8 shot attempts tonight with 5 of them on goal. And that number 81 on his back from that side of the ice looks a little familiar with the way he's letting the shot fly, too. That's pretty special because they haven't had a finisher like that from that side of the ice.
You know Mike Zeisberger up here. He's a writer up here in Toronto. He just before I came on with you, he poked his head in and he goes, "Oh, that Phil Kessel looks good tonight." Former Leaf, former Penguin Phil Kessel, who wore the same number, 81. And you're right. Just the way he gallops, right-hand shot, the whole thing. Phil was one in a million. There won't be another Phil Kessel. But if you could find somebody that would be in close proximity of Phil Kessel, Ben Kindle starting to kind of give you those warm and fuzzies, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And I got to throw this one at you. Everyone tries to pin nicknames on people and things. I came up with one for the power play with Kindle. Benny and the Vets, the Elton John song, right? I think it fits.
Benny and the Vets. That is a good one. I like that one. You know, I don't like, it's not a stretch, it's not a reach. It absolutely works. I love it.
Yeah, I had to get your take on it. And speaking of your take, just in general, I don't know that I anticipated. I know the Leafs haven't had the greatest start this year, but they've won 3 of their last 4. Penguins, utter dominance here tonight. I mean, what's going into that?
Penguins have their skating shoes, number one. I think they took it personal, the way things went in Winnipeg the other night. And we saw, listen, I mentioned the pregame. That game in Anaheim, where they didn't play great, but they played good enough to maybe get that to bonus hockey and at least walk out of that building with a point. Parker Wotherspoon puts the puck over the glass. Chris Carter scores the power play goal, and they get feathers, right? And then they went on a 6-0-2 run. So part of me was hoping, wishing, but also part of me really believed that this team can do some self-reflection, self-evaluation, and quickly make the adjustments that need to be made and get back to playing Dan Muse, Pittsburgh Penguin hockey. And that's what we're seeing here tonight. They have brought their skating shoes. They're keeping the game simple. They're doing everything with a purpose. All the details are back into their game. But the biggest thing for me, Mets, is they are not only getting first to lose pucks, but when there's a puck battle that needs to be won, they won just about every single one of them there in the second period.
It's awesome to see against a team that usually has the speedier forwards, at least in the last couple of seasons. You've seen them get all over the Penguins, and they'd win those battles, and they'd create odd man rushes, and it's the other way around tonight.
No, I totally agree with you. So many times we came into this building and we walked out of this building with nothing, right? Because they've kind of had our number over the years.
For sure.
And mostly their skill and their speed was just too much for us. And listen, we still got 20 minutes to go here, so I'm not putting anything to bed here yet. But if the Penguins can do anything close to what they did there in the second period, it's what the Leafs have done to the Penguins here in Toronto over the last few years. Yeah. Time to flip the script.
Yeah, I love the script being flipped here tonight, Borky. Thank you for this, and we'll do it in person against the Caps on Thursday.
Sounds good, pal.
All right, that is the old 2-9er Phil Bourque, and as I just said, we'll have some hockey talk then. And when I come back, some news from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Penguins fans, get savings of up to 20% when you choose from Flex plans starting at 3 games. Pick your games, pricing, and seats.
Mid out below the goal line, centering pass. Big save by Sheilov. Second attempt, a sprawling save. He pounces on top of it, but it's still not frozen. Here comes Malkin hustling in. Shot fired. Second attempt, and he scores!
Don't miss out on the action this season. Get more information and choose your Flex plan today at www.pittsburghpenguins.com/flex.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
The fabulous trio, Evgeny, Sidney, Chris. I'm excited for these guys. They're going to do it, Phil. They can do it.
You know what? We're under the radar. Whether you're talking about Schultz Ford or you're talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've gone through cycles. We've gone through ups and downs where people say they're not going to do it. They're over the hill or whatever.
You know what they say?
Hockey!
What Richard and Phil are really trying to say is there's a Ford in your future. Choose from over 1,500 vehicles, lock in our $500 best price guarantee, and find us at any of our 4 Schultz Ford locations, where great deals are always nearby.
This segment of the Penguins Live Intermission Report is brought to you by Smith's Hot Dogs, proud sponsor of the Penguins and official hot dogs at PPG Paints Arena.
The Maple Leafs, after 2 periods of play in Toronto. Brian Metzer back here with you, and should mention Ben Kindle's goal puts him in the league lead, or in a tie with Matthew Schaefer of the Islanders for the league lead in rookie goal scoring. So congrats to him. I wanted to mention the Penguins dodged having to play Adam Lowry the other day whenever they lost to the Winnipeg Jets. We had speculated that he might be available. He was going to go on the road trip that they had starting after that game, and he is set to make his season debut with the Jets after some hip surgery. He is a very important member of that team. Their captain, we all know what he means to them. A very important performer in all their big games. So Penguins were able to avoid having to play him, as I said, but teams will not have that opportunity here, starting with their next game as he makes his return to the lineup. And as I said, just a very important player for that team. With a lot more coming your way here. You got to keep your eyes on this. Penguins do have that 3-0 lead that I just mentioned a moment ago. We're hoping they can hold on to it. It's easier to defend than just a 1-goal situation. But Joe Brand and Phil Bourque will let you know how it all plays out here next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
And now, please welcome to the stage. Every place has a vibe. Feel it with SiriusXM channels like Karaoke Bar, where you belt out top shelf sing-alongs. Lace up for roller rink and groove to classic hits. Or step into Soccer Stadium to raise your voice with the Ultras. Explore 15 different environments. Just tap into the SiriusXM app and search Places.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio.
But the other thing that Connor McDavid has earned is he's earned a voice in what happens with the team. Where are you guys headed? What are you guys doing? I need to know, because he made it very clear in his comments, I want a chance to win and win again. That doesn't mean he gets final say. They need to listen to Connor McDavid. They need to express their views to Connor McDavid.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan, and
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with the group, and thus I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Before, during,
wrist fars in, shoots deflected, they score!
He lives here. Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
A 3-0 lead for the Penguins here in Toronto. And the story of the night has been Ben Kindle. In his 11th career NHL game, he has 2 goals. He's one shy of a hat trick. He nearly got it on the second power play for the Penguins in this second period. But he is trying to join the ranks of some very impressive names to be an 18-year-old to score his first career hat trick. And one of them being Jordan Staal, who did it in this building with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we're led to believe that Jordan Staal is the youngest player in NHL history to record their first hat trick at 18 years, 153 days, just 210 days younger than Ben Kindle?
No, I'm sorry. I flashed the number 2 and I didn't have a chance to explain. We got a whistle here off the faceoff. So Jordan Staal was 18 years, 153 days. If Ben Kindle scores here tonight, he will not surpass that. He will just miss it. Because today is 210 days past his 18th birthday.
But not off by many.
No.
Either way, the Penguins' first-round draft pick from this past summer in his 11th career NHL game has a chance to record his first hat trick. He already has 5 goals in his young career. And the Penguins with a 3-0 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We begin things here in the third period. Opening faceoff is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane. Go one better.
You know what else I think is incredible? Is he doesn't have an assist yet.
That's true.
He's a guy who came in and we thought, okay, this guy is great. Look out.
Here's the Leafs in the Penguin zone. Big save from Jari on Carlos Rister at the far circle.
There hasn't been many. That's the 8th shot for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but some big saves by Tristan Jari nonetheless.
Jari has stopped all 9 so far. Leafs with it again. Tried to feed it to Riley at the circle. Missed him, went to the wall. In the corner, Carlson will lift it up in the air and clear it down.
But to finish the thought on Kindle, coming in, we thought, oh, this guy's got great vision. He's not that big. He's going to be more of a puck distributor. You know, hopefully he's like a 20-60 guy, something like that. But here he is in game 11. He's got 5 goals and no apples.
Well, and not only that, 4 of the 5 goals have come with authority.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that hasn't was the one that was knocked out of midair that he may have gotten a touch on his first. But scoring against Igor Shesterkin, Sergei Bobrovsky, Philip Gustafsson, that doesn't come lightly.
No.
And then a wicked wrister on the power play to get one past Anthony Stolarz tonight for his second of the night. Jari pokes the puck away, and now a wrister from Robertson goes in and out of his glove. Penguins take it away.
Robertson did get all of it as he broke his stick on that shot.
Penguins in their road white sweaters attacking from left to right. With Jari in net making his 300th career start. Excuse me, his 300th career game. And his 11th game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto in their home blue sweaters attacking from right to left. Penguins have it. Here's Novak trying to feed Kindle, but kicked out of there by Stolarz. Penguins still with it. Pickering at the point to the near side for Brunick. Wrist one goes right off of Cowan, and now a drive just wide of the net. Second attempt won't go from Koivunen on a sick wrister.
He basically had a wide open net. Did Koivunen collecting that puck off the yellow kickboard, the shot by Brunick, and put it off the side of the net. Oh, Ville Koivunen with another great chance.
Penguins now out shooting Toronto 27-10. Loose puck in the Leaf zone. Swept away by Carlo. Cleared up to the neutral zone. Wotherspoon ahead to Blake Lizotte. Penguins get it into the Leaf zone, but awkwardly as McCabe feeds Carlo. Far side, he'll send it ahead. Goes wide of Tristan Jarry's net. Carlson plays it off the end wall. Swings it around the boards and missed everyone. Goes all the way down. That'll be icing by the Pens. Just over 3 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins lead 3-0.
I'm just going to say it now because I don't want to forget about it. And that is the game that Blake Lizotte is having. He's going to be here to take this face-off here after the icing. Blake Lizotte has been absolutely flying tonight. Been shot out of a cannon. Very impressive. 46 in white.
Another guy who only has goals this year.
Yeah.
Blake Lizotte with 2 points, both of them goals. Picked up second on Saturday against Winnipeg. Penguins dump it into the Leaf zone again. Stolarz swings it around the boards. Riley comes away with it. Only gets it out to the neutral zone as Letang feeds Ryan Shea. Lizotte helps dump it into the Leafs end, but it actually pops up out of play. 3.5 minutes gone in the third period. Penguins lead by 3.
Well, unleashing AI takes brain power and real power. From right here in Pittsburgh, EQT fuels the innovation driving the next big play. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
Well, we got to hear Craig Berube talk before the game today, and he was kind of raving about his rookie and 20-year-old Easton Cowan.
Yep.
28th overall pick in 2023. Moved him up to the top line, rather the top power plays. Here's Matthews in the Penguin zone. He scores. Stretch pass ahead, and Austin Matthews gets the Maple Leafs on the board with a wrister past Tristan Jarry. It's 3-1 Penguins with 16.5 to play.
Oh, one of the first mistakes by the Penguins. They got spread out in the neutral zone, and Sidney Crosby didn't realize that his man, Austin Matthews, was cherry-picking at the far blue line. And Chris Letang went to Matthew Nyes. There was a collision between Robertson and Ryan Shea to the left of Sid. And I think Sid thought that Letang and Shea were in behind him as a second level, but they peeled off. There's no reason for the two defensemen to leave the middle of the ice, Joe, and go to wingers that are over in the boards. Now, Sid's not absolved of this, but he thought he had support from Letang and Shea, and they weren't there. And all of a sudden, you leave that guy in on the breakaway. He goes 5-hole, Austin Matthews. It's now 3-1.
It's his 7th goal of the season. His 8th career goal against the Penguins. It's his 22nd game against Pittsburgh. So the Penguins still ahead, but it's 3-1 now with 16 minutes to play. Toronto clears it down. Ryan Shea races it down. In behind Jarry's net. Well, takes it up to the far side. Snaps it up to Novak. Angled down into Toronto's end. Stolarz out of his net. Swings it around the boards to Robertson at the point. Fed over to Myers. Now up ahead to Tavares. Now McMahon and the Leafs back in the zone, and a glove save from Jari on a wrister coming from Morgan Riley at the far circle.
I did not love the gap control there by Harrison Brunick. You just can't give players in the NHL that much room to rip pucks like that. Everyone's going to get back to what they were doing so well in the second period. That was in-your-face hockey. That was winning puck battles. First to lose pucks. Penguins just going to get the details back to their game defensively, and then everything else will fall into place.
Toronto already has as many shots on goal in this third period that they did in the second. Not even 5 minutes gone in this third period. Leafs back in the Penguins zone. It's Nylander with a tough angle shot. Jari kicks it out of the way. It goes in behind the net. The fight for it rolls out to the far circle. Matthews sweeps it away. Ekman Larson high slot. Wrister goes wide. Riley jams one towards the crease. Puck knocked down. Backhand shot. They score. It's Robertson. Nylander. As the puck came down in the near circle, he just ripped a backhander and slips it past Jari just like that. The Penguins lead down to 1, 15-13 still to play.
Partner, I just don't understand why Harrison Brunick and Owen Pickering are out here with Sidney Crosby and his line. It's not the right decision. I'm not second-guessing Mike Stothers or Dan Muse here, as we got a timeout here by Dan Muse. 2 quick goals by Toronto to make this a hockey game. But the youngsters, Harrison, Brunick, and Owen Pickering, they looked a little lost in that shift. And I think if you're going to have Sidney Crosby out there with Evgeny Malkin and Brian Rust, because again, you're down a man, and Nola Chari, and Dan Muse is loaded up on the Crosby line, I think you need to have a different pairing out there with Sid.
There's been a handful of mistakes from that young pair tonight. And quickly, Toronto has pumped life into this building. They got within 1 goal.
I'd just like to see just a little more urgency by Harrison Brunick to get out on Nylander. Get that stick out there. Get stick on puck or block the shot. You can tell that Harrison Brunick is now second-guessing himself because he's too in between. That's a bad place to be for a defenseman at 19 years of age in the NHL. To be that tweener.
Yeah, he was definitely within range of slowing things down against Nylander before something bad had happened. So 3-2 Penguins with 15 to play here from Toronto. Carlson chips it out to the neutral zone. Tumbling puck into the Leafs end. Carlo scoops it up. Sends it up ahead now. Dump back into the Penguins end, but taken out. Anthony Mantha near side of the neutral zone. Over the Leafs line, down to the corner. Backhand centering pass. Kicked out of there with a stick from Stolarz. Tomasino drags it up to the point. Wotherspoon couldn't get a handle of it, but slams Dakota Joshua into the boards. Taken by Carlson. We'll bring it up to the near side of center ice. Can't get it cleanly into the Leafs zone as Toronto kicks it out. Tavares dumps it back into the Penguin zone. Robertson at the near corner. Coughs up the puck. Now he takes it back. Bottom of the circle. And behind Jari's net. Stutter move to try to get around Kindle. He'll sweep it up the far corner. Almost coughed it up, but it jumped off the stick of Robertson. And now Mantha will dump it on net. Just a little bit wide of Stolarz. Handled by Riley. Off the boards on the near side. 14-10 to go in regulation. Penguins with a 3-2 lead. Toronto scoring both their goals in this third period. They get it to McMahon, cruising through the neutral zone, dumps it into the Penguins end. Letang knocks it out of midair. Dewar now takes it over the Leafs end, down to the near corner. Stolarz out to play it, sweeps it over to the far side. Robertson collects it with speed through the neutral zone, shoots it on net of Jari. He stops it, then slings it up ahead to Connor Dewar, right in front of the Leafs blue line. They'll drop it down to the corner.
That was one of the differences between Arthur Shelovs and Tristan Jari. That 120-foot stretch pass from Jari right onto the tape.
Allowed the Penguins to dump it in, but now Penguins unable to do it again as Rust sends it into the Toronto bench. And the Maple Leafs with some life. They scored 2 goals quickly. It's 3-2 Penguins with 13:22 to go here in Toronto. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
If it's happening in baseball,
From backs against the wall to back, the Dodgers cement their dynasty.
it's on MLB Network Radio.
Will Smith, the go-ahead home run in Game 7 of the World Series. Did you dream of this moment?
Every kid does. That's special. I'll remember that for forever.
Mookie Betts is going to join us.
I love being a Dodger. I love each and every person in here.
MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89, and on the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Penguins on top, but it's down to a 1-goal lead. 3-2, they lead the Maple Leafs with 13:22 to go in regulation. We'll get a face-off at center ice with the captains once again. Crosby against Matthews. As Toronto has gone within a goal thanks to goals by the captain Austin Matthews and William Nylander. Sid wins the draw. Penguins dump it down to the Maple Leafs end, but it's icing. 13:17 to go in regulation.
Just an observation. Ben Kindle leads all players on both teams with 6 shots. Sidney Crosby, 0 shots.
Wow. Sid coming into this game leading the team with 9 goals. He scored Saturday in Winnipeg. There's a wrister from the high slot, went wide of the net after some traffic. And behind the net, it's Matthews. Backhanded centering pass looking for Nyes. It goes up to the high slot. Nylander, a drive, he scores. A blast from the high slot, and Toronto has tied this game. Less than 7 minutes into the third period. Nylander's second goal of the night. We're starting over at 3-3.
And it's this line. Nylander is put up on the wing. Robertson taking off the line. And Nylander. So Craig Berube has loaded up his big boys and gets rewarded as Wotherspoon goes down to block the shot. Might have actually screened his goaltender because he didn't block it. And it sails over the left glove hand. And that's from Nylander. That's long range, man. That's a 50-foot slap shot, one-timer that sails over the left glove hand of Tristan Jarry. That's 3 shots, 3 goals on 6 shots. Am I right?
And they only had 3 shots total in the second period. Everything doesn't matter now. A 3-3 tie with 12.5 to play in regulation. 5th goal of the season for William Nylander. Again, who has now 6 goals in his last 4 games against the Penguins. Now McMahon with speed in the Penguin zone. Slows down above the near circle. Shovels it over to Ekman Larsson. Shot fired high in the net. This crowd is buzzing.
I think Jarry got a piece of that too.
Tomasino dumps it down to Toronto zone, near corner. Rolls over to Stolars, who swings it over to the far side to Simone Benoit. Up ahead of the neutral zone, Yarncrook dumps it down. That'll be icing by the Leafs. 12 minutes to play here in Toronto. We're tied at 3.
Nobody said it was going to be easy, Joe. And the Penguins just did not come out with that bite in their game. that they had the second period. That second period might have been one of their best, if not their best, all year. Complete dominance. They outshot Toronto 17-3. But they came out a little flat in those first couple shifts, and you knew that Craig Berube was going to light them up verbally, and they've come out and even the score.
Like you said earlier, too, with any flaws that the Leafs have, it's not with scoring.
No.
Right now, 3 goals not enough as Kindle kicks the puck to himself using his hereditary soccer skills there as that sent wide of the net on a wrister from Novak at the far circle. But the Leafs take it back. Use Yarncrook to the neutral zone, swept away by Carlson, slowed down by the Leafs, sent over to the near side. Penguins try to pull it out as Kindle comes away with it. Down to the ice goes Carlson. This is a penalty on Toronto. Delayed penalty.
Carlson just now getting up, grabbing his mouth. I don't see blood, so I don't think it's going to be 4, but in a 6-on-5 situation for the Penguins, to late call.
Malkin unable to get the puck cleanly to Mantha. And it'll be Nicholas Waugh to the box, bringing the Penguins back on the power play after Toronto has tied this game up at 3 in the third period. It's actually going to be Sammy Blais going to the box.
Toronto penalty number 79, 2-minute minor, high sticking.
Well, there's nothing you can do about the start. And there's nothing you can do about 3 goals. As Blais tried to kind of a cross-check, or what would you call that?
Yeah, I don't know, because he caught the back of Carlson's head with his fist.
Yeah, but I think Carlson's bent over. And Sammy Blais is a big dude. And I think what he's trying to do is take his top hand on the stick and kind of punch Carlson. You kind of throw with your hands on your stick, punch Carlson in the back, and I don't know, either rode up his back or just hit him in the helmet, knocking Carlson to the ice, enough for the call.
Penguins back on the power play. They're 1 for 2 so far tonight. Ben Kindle scoring his second goal on the power play. We're tied at 3 now as the Penguins can enter the Leafs zone. Poked away by Matthews. He brings it the other way. He's got Nice to his left. He drags. He shoots. And a save by Jari. Pops up, skims the netting. 1:33 to go on this Penguins power play. And the Leafs hold all the momentum with it.
Craig Berube not afraid to use. When Mitch Marner was here, he became one of the best penalty killers in the league. And now with Marner gone on to Vegas, Craig Berube is not afraid to use Austin Matthews.
Crosby to take the draw, and the Leafs win it. They dump it down to the corner. It rolls all the way over to the neutral zone. Toronto will just milk off some time here. Benoit sends it ahead of the neutral zone. Crosby picks it up just beyond the Leafs logo. On the far side ahead to Brian Rust. Takes it down the far wall. Corner, it gets poked free. Philip Myers slides it over to the corner for Crosby. Pitches it up to Carlson at the point. Walks the blue line, high slot. Down to the near point, downstairs to Malkin at the bottom of the near circle. Looking at the area, trying to get it to Crosby on the doorstep, but it's easily blocked by Benoit. Malkin again to Crosby again. Shot fired and a save by Stolarz. And he's able to freeze it with 56 seconds to go on the power play.
That's a big save by Stolarz. That's not easy. It's a bouncing puck. Sits down in the slot area. Kind of net front, kind of low slot. He just tries to chip at a bouncing puck, and now Stolarz and Crosby having a little chit-chat in the blue paint.
Top unit stays out there as Crosby will take the draw against Matthews. Far circle to the right of Stolarz. Fight for the puck in the circle. Russ gets it up to Carlson at the point. To Malkin near circle. He wrists one. Saved by Stolarz.
Once again, no net front. No screen. No body in front of Stolarz. He's a big body. Takes up a lot of space. Real quick, Joe, before I forget. I want to go back to the start of this third period when Ville Koivunen had an unbelievable chance. The Penguins were up 3-0. Koivunen had basically a wide open net and put it off the side of that. That would have made it 4-0. Shortly thereafter, Toronto gets 3 goals.
Tied at 3. 39 seconds on the Penguins power play. Crosby one-timer, pad save, loose puck, fought for it, and swept over to the far side. Brian Rust trying to muscle it up to Carlson, but Austin Matthews with a heck of a shift pokes it out to center ice. Now back over the Leafs line. It's Crosby at the half wall. Up to Carlson in front of the blue line. His pass stopped by Matthews and chipped out to center ice.
It's Erik Karlsson not trying to do the easy thing, trying to thread the needle through Austin Matthews. Didn't have to. Turns the puck over.
Penguins back over the Leafs line. 5 seconds left in the power play. Chipped up to Carlson. High slot. Jari slams his stick to the ice. Out of the box is Blais. We're back to 5-on-5. Drive by. Carlson turns into a long rebound. Here comes the Leafs in transition. It's Yarncrook into the Penguin zone. Stripped to the puck by Malkin. As he'll slide it over to Jari, who will kick it to Carlson. 8:50 to go here in Toronto. We're tied at 3. Chris Letang back skating in his own end. Head to Ville Koivunen in the neutral zone. Skates over the Leafs logo. Now to the far side of the Leafs end. Chip and chase to himself along the far wall. Couldn't dump it deep. Matha finds it to Shea. Plays it off the near wall to Chris Letang. Downstairs to the corner looking for Novak. Kicked out of there by Riley. Toronto shovels it out to the neutral zone. Now up ahead looking for Domi blasting into the Penguin zone. But it's cleared down to the corner. Domi takes it back in behind Jari's net onto the stick of Joshua. Flipped up to Myers. Far point. Wrister saved by Jari. And now a stretch pass ahead up to Mantha. He's in the Leafs zone. Far circle fired. Saved by Stolars. Mantha still with it. Cutting through. He feeds Blake Lozada. Shot fired. And another save by Stolars. Little bit of a fracas in behind the net as Domi's got Koivunen wrapped up. 2 huge chances for the Penguins and 2 big stops by Anthony Stolars. We're tied at 3 here in Toronto. 8 minutes to play. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dogs by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
Three goals by the Toronto Maple Leafs in this third period has things evened up at 3. 8:04 to go in regulation here from Toronto. Well, the face-off over in the Maple Leaf zone.
Another different look here from Dan Muse. Philip Tomasino. Excuse me, sir. Elevator on the right over here. Yeah, it goes right to the penthouse. You are up with Sidney Crosby. Philip Tomasino.
Tomasino picking up his first point of the season. Secondary assist on the Erik Karlsson goal.
Also, in case you're just joining us, Noel Acciari left this game in the first period. Just 2 shifts for Noel Acciari. 1 minute and 10 of ice time. Has not returned.
He's been big at the face-off circle this year, too. That's a rough loss for the Penguins in this third period. The Leafs clear it out to the neutral zone, but the Penguins quickly dump it back in. Now Carlos swoops it up behind his net. Sends it over to the far side for Nylander, who's got 2 goals in this game.
Hit the linesman into the Toronto bench.
7:45 to go in regulation. We're tied at 3 here in Toronto.
Oh, this is interesting. The linesman's going to say, because it hit me and went into the bench, the faceoff comes outside the blue line because Nylander was deep inside his own zone when he tried to airmail that out to the neutral zone. Interesting.
Penguins win the draw. They quickly dump it into the Leaf zone. Carlo up along the far wall. Sid with a tough angle shot goes wide of the net. Played up to the point by Carlson. Rister doesn't get through traffic. Went off the boot of Austin Matthews. Over to the far corner. Rust has it. Slammed into the boards by Matthews. Now loose puck taken by Tomasino. He'll play it up to Wotherspoon. Snapped over to Carlson. Near side. Rister wide of the net. Tumbles over to the far corner as Matthews chips it up to Nylander, who will clear it down.
Nice.
7:14 to go in regulation. We're tied at 3.
Third periods have been bueno for the Penguins coming into this one tonight. The Penguins have outscored their opponent in the third frame 20-9. Toronto, okay, but not as good. They come into this game tonight outscoring their opponent in the third period 18-4. Oh, look at this here. Ben Kindle. Also, this elevator on the right here also goes to you, sir. You can go up and play with Evgeny Malkin on the right wing. Damn, he was getting creative.
Face off to the right of Stolars, and the Leafs crank it around the boards. Matthew Nyes chips it down to the Penguins' end. Letang races it down, feeds it up to Shea. Clear it up ahead to Malkin. Gets it over the Leafs line with Kindle right in front of him. Malkin in the circle. Downstairs to Kindle. Tried to go with the backhand. Stolars went swimming out of his net to break up the play.
I just love the idea of Ben Kindle taking that pass from Evgeny Malkin down below the bottom of the circle. He doesn't try to go around the net, path of least resistance. He takes it right to the hoop.
Penguins are offside in the Leaf zone. 6:42 to go in regulation. We're tied at 3. It was a very Brian Rust-esque move just there from Kindle.
Yeah, he was flying too. That's not as easy as maybe you think when you're coming in with that kind of speed to get around the defenseman and separation from the defenseman, and then all of a sudden you're on top of big Anthony Stolars, who's diving out to try to poke check you.
Toronto dumps it into the Penguins' end, near corner. Tavares tries to pitch it up along the wall, gets slammed into the boards by Blake Lizotte. Lizotte trying to muscle it through. Riley sends it wide of the net, goes over to the far corner. Robertson gets it in front of Pickering, fired a shot, saved by Jari. Second attempt, they score. Bobby McMahon with the loose change in front, and Toronto has scored 4 goals. They have a 4-3 lead over the Penguins with 6:17 to go.
Wow, and another tough shift for Owen Pickering. He just can't keep up, Joe. Robertson puts a spin move on him in the corner, and then see you later. And then Pickering tries to recover, but he's just not quick enough. And Robertson gets a good shot away, and then Harrison Brunek, once again, he's in front of his net, and he's just not sure what to do. He's kind of spinning around. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to take. You need to turn and take a man, and that is Bobby McMahon. You need to get under his stick, and Brunek's nowhere to be found, and Tristan Jarry has no chance. And the Leafs have come all the way back, down 3-0 here in the third period. They have scored 4 straight against the Penguins.
Penguins have 6 minutes to come up with a goal. Puck is in the Leafs' end, far corner. Crosby tries to pry it free. It's taken away by Nyes. Now the Leafs in transition through the neutral zone. Nyes dumps it in. Around the boards to Wotherspoon, far side. Shovels it over to Carlson. Picks it to himself from the corner. Now up ahead to Wotherspoon. Dumped into the Leafs' end near corner. Played off the wall by McCabe. McCabe slowing things down as both teams get a change here. Koivunen dumps it into the Leafs' end. Stolars stops it in behind his net to McCabe in the near corner. McCabe chips it along the glass to Nyes on the near side. Dumps it all the way down to the Penguins' end. Ryan Shea races after it. Shovels it over in behind Jari's net to Letang. Stripped away by Nicholas Waugh. Penguins fighting for it back as Kindle taps it out to the neutral zone, but it's taken back by Toronto. 5:05 to go here from Canada. Penguins trailing 4-3 after coughing up a 3-goal lead in this third period. Tommy Novak's stick broke on him as he dumped it in. Maple Leafs pull it back out. Simone Benoit near side of the neutral zone. Dumps it into the Penguins' end. Around the boards to the far corner, Ryan Shea digs it deep. Letang in behind Jari's net as the crowd has come alive here at Scotiabank Arena. Coughed up by the Penguins. Tavares has it in the neutral zone. Up ahead to Bobby McMahon. Backhands it all the way up in the air. And bounced off the netting. 4:32 to go in regulation, and the Penguins trail 4-3. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, Metallica family. This is James.
It's Lars. This is Kirk.
It's Robert.
It really means a lot to have our own channel here on Sirius XM.
For us to be able to have a platform to share the music that we love, the music that we create, the music that inspires us.
The most Metallica anywhere. Maximum Metallica.
Do you want heavy?
Channel 42 and the Sirius XM app. On right now.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.
Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Dynasties are built.
Real Madrid do what they do best.
And history is made.
It is a night to remember for Paris Saint-Germain.
Hear the top Champions League matches all season long on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
St. Louis Blues General Manager Doug Armstrong, Alex Steen, speak to where that's at, the succession plan. And
he is going to be the manager after this season. You have to know when your expiration date is with a group, and I think it was time to be honest with myself that the organization itself needed to change, and we're excited to have Alex ready to take over.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
4:32 left for the Penguins to try to even things up here in Toronto. Penguins had a 3-0 lead entering into the third. And the Leafs, who have outshot the Pens 11-8 in this third period, are trying to pick up their fourth win of their last 5 games. They have turned things around in an instant here tonight.
Welcome to the new NHL. No lead is safe.
Yeah. Face off near right dot, won by the Pens. Carlson up ahead to Mantha. Maple Leafs poke it free, but Lizotte still carries it over the Leafs line, down to the corner. In behind the net, over to the far side, curls around at the half wall to Pickering. A shot fired, saved by Stolarz. Rebound to the far corner. Carlson got it to Kindle, but back to Carlson. Up top to Wotherspoon, high slot, now over to Kindle, near circle, wrister, saved by Stolarz. Ben Kindle still on the hunt for his first hat trick, but Stolarz in front of it keeps it 4-3 Leafs. 4:06 to play from Toronto.
Yeah, partner, we're on double hat trick watch. The guy on the other side is looking for a hat trick too, and William Nylander. You know what's incredible? Nylander has only had 2 hat tricks in his career. Last year he had 45. Year before that he had 40. Year before that he had 40. And he's never had a hat trick on home ice. His first one came in Boston in 2017. His last one came last season in Calgary. That's it.
That is very surprising. Penguins from the neutral zone reset things as Shea picks up an errant pass. Under 4 to play. Penguins down 4-3. Up ahead to Crosby. Over the Leafs line. Far side. Swings it around the boards. Tang races it down in the corner. Sends it deep again. Got it to Malkin. Carry it to the corner. Up to the point for Brian Russ. Snapped over to Ryan Shea. Far point to Letang high slot. Shot fired. Doesn't get past Carlo. Now up ahead to Nylander, who's on hat trick watch in the Penguin zone. Slows down to the circle. Shot fired in and out of the glove of Jari. And the Penguins will swat it down. This will be icing. 3:19 left here in Toronto. 4-3 Maple Leafs.
What I find interesting is the Penguins have not got enough traffic, especially here in the third period. Bodies in front of Stolarz. They've had chances, but nobody in front of Stolarz. That last chance, the Penguins had one body in front of Stolarz, and the Leafs left that player alone. I think it was Sid. And they got out in front of him. And everybody was just trying to play goaltender for the Leafs. And the Penguins just shoot it right at the Toronto Maple Leafs players. If they get it through those multiple layers of players trying to block shots, Sid's all by himself in front of the net. But the Penguins haven't been able to do that here in the third period.
3 minutes left in it. Penguins down by a goal. Ryan Shea's outlet pass stolen by Toronto. Swinging ahead to the far side. Koivunen slows it down but can't get a handle on it. Tavares takes it over the Penguins line. Quickly chipped back out. Now Novak has it for the Pens. Up ahead to Koivunen into the Leafs end. Far half wall. And gets crunched into the boards by Ekman Larsson. They fight for the puck in that far corner. It's pinned along the boards with 2:40 to play here in Toronto. Pens down by 1. Morgan Riley digs it out, swings it up ahead on the far side of the neutral zone. McMahon chips it down into the Penguins' end. Wotherspoon paws it down. Gets it over to Carlson on the near side, ahead to Tomasino. Toronto native in the near half wall. Shrugged off the puck by McCabe. Novak's got it. Takes it over to the far side. Back over to Koivunen into the near corner. Up along the boards for Carlson. Had to hurry. McMahon was pressuring, and it's poked out to the neutral zone. 2:10 left in Toronto. Penguins down 4-3. Here comes the top line once again now with Crosby, Malkin, and Brian Rust. Chipped down a tumbling puck. Stolar stops it and freezes it as Jari was just about to head to the Penguins bench. And it looks like he'll continue on there.
Also, side note to remember, as we get down to the really short strokes here, Dan Muse has already used his timeout.
So an empty net for the Penguins with 2 minutes left in Toronto. They trail 4-3. The faceoff will come to the left of Anthony Stolarz. It's the Penguins' top line. Defensive pair of Erik Karlsson and Parker Wotherspoon, or rather Chris Letang, and also Ben Kindle out there on the ice as well. Face-off to the left of Anthony Stolarz. And the Penguins control. Sweep it up to the near point. Karlsson down to the corner for Malkin. Along the end wall to Sidney Crosby to the far half boards for Letang. His pass goes wide. It goes to the neutral zone. If the Penguins do score in these final 5 minutes, you win a free Big Mac. Offer valid 3 days after the Penguins score in the final 5 minutes of a game, courtesy of the Big Mac app. Penguins still with it in the Leafs zone. They've got the empty net 6-on-5. Chris Letang at the far point to the high slot. Karlsson, 1:30 left. Malkin in the near circle. Wrist one. Loose puck in front. It's swatted over to the near side. Malkin sweeps it up to the point. Karlsson keeps it onside. High slot. Letang, one-timer. Doesn't get through the traffic. High slot Karlsson again. 1:18 to go here in Toronto. Letang above the far circle. Snaps it over to Malkin. Near circle. Downstairs Sid. Touch pass Kindle. Whiffed on a one-timer. Swept up but not out by the Leafs. It's over to the far corner as Russ kicks it around the boards. Kindle's got it. Now to the high slot Karlsson. 1 minute left here in Toronto. Kindle one-timer. It gets blocked by Carlo. Fight for the puck in the far corner to Kindle again. Tries to create some space. Defended by Matthews. Loose puck fought for along the walls. Down to Russ. Loose puck taken by Malkin. Swept up to the slot. Toronto's got it on the stick of Nylander to the near side. Cuts through. Swept off the puck by Ben Kindle in the Penguin zone.
Blatant penalty on Dakota Johnson. Is he chopped of getting Malkin? Broke Malkin's stick. No call.
Malkin's stick still shattered in behind Toronto's net. The Penguins have 30 seconds to work with. Malkin at the blue line, now over the Leafs line. Cross ice to Kindle at the near point. High slot Karlsson, 24 seconds left. Kindle at the point. Hangs on. Karlsson to the high slot again. Brings it over to the near side. 15 seconds to go here from Toronto. Penguins need a goal. They've got the empty net. To the point for Karlsson. 11 seconds to go.
They got to shoot the puck.
Letang above the far circle. High slot Karlsson. 6 seconds to go. Letang one-timer. Kindle on the doorstep. It kicks out. 3 seconds to go. Snapped over to Sid. Backhand shot. Won't go. And the Penguins fall 4-3 to Toronto. The Maple Leafs score 4 goals in the third period and spoil Ben Kindle's coming out party. Penguins rookie 18-year-old had 2 goals today, and the Pens with a 3-goal lead entering in the third, only to cough up 4 to the Maple Leafs and drop this road trip finale by a final score of 4-3.
This one stings, partner, a little more than most. Last of a road trip before you go home to play the Washington Capitals, number 1. Number 2, you mentioned about Ben Kindle. Number 3, we saw some things that we really didn't like from certain players that were very, very glaring. And number 4, this cuts deep for Kyle Dubas. Back in this house to be up 3-0, to watch it all just disappear in the final 20 minutes of play. This one cuts deeper than most.
Tough one to swallow for the Penguins, who outshot Toronto 17-3 in the second period, one of their best periods all year long, only to cough up 4 in the third, and Toronto takes it 4-3. We'll take a break. Brian Metzer and Paul Steigerwald start the post-game conversation up before Borky and I wrap up a few more things here from Scotiabank Arena. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hi, everyone. Julie Stewart-Binks here, along with former NHLer Nate Thompson. Join us on Energy Line as we share our takes, stories, and surprise guests every week. Patrick Kane, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Team USA head coach Mike Sullivan, 6-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Messier.
With over 800 NHL games, I know a couple guys.
Biz didn't have Twitter. No one knew who he was, so I called Whit, and I'm like, how is Biz? He was like, I'm telling you right now, you're going to hate him. Then he'll be your best friend.
Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts,
or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Labatt, brewed for the hockey fans who yell, shoot it from the cheap seats, and scream, ref, you suck, like it ever worked. You pound on the glass, spill your beer, and still act like you're running the power play. But hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you and a Labatt in hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Go to Black Sheep for $3 Labatt Blue Light 20-ounce drafts during all Penguins games.
Hey, hockey fans, the ice is heating up, and the savings are too at Spitzer Auto World. Shop thousands of new vehicles at the Panda price. And here's the hat trick. Get a lifetime warranty at no charge. Whack more, spend less at Spitzer Auto World.
Our world revolves around you. Looking for the ultimate getaway? Stay and play at the Landing Hotel at Rivers Casino. Whether you're here for a weekend escape or a midweek retreat, we've got everything you need under one roof. Wake up refreshed in one of our stunning rooms and head straight to the action, just steps away from the casino floor. Enjoy a variety of gaming, dining, and entertainment, all just outside your door. Visit riverscasino.com and book your stay today. Experience the best of both worlds at the Landing Hotel at Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get your business in the game with Glass Mirror Fuel. We supply gas, diesel, propane, and other fuels for businesses throughout Western and Central PA. We even loan tanks and pumps. Call 800-235-9054 or visit glassmirror.com. Your power play for fuel.
The Steel City knows a thing or two about winners. When it comes to environmental services, WM has been winning for over 50 years. We have over 45,000 MVPs on our roster across North America, from truck drivers to sales professionals and everything in between. And right now, we're looking for Pittsburgh area professionals to join our winning team, because doing what's right for our planet is vital work, best tackled together. We offer competitive pay, great benefits, and tons of other perks. Start your new career by visiting careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
This is the Rivers Casino Penguins Live postgame show. Here are your hosts, Paul Steigerwald and Brian Metzer.
Well, hockey is an amazing game. Unpredictable. Penguins out shooting the Leafs 17-3 in the second period. In a way, I felt like they needed to score a couple of more goals during that stretch. It turns out they did, but it didn't happen. Not that a 3-0 lead shouldn't be enough, but you did kind of feel like they totally dominated and didn't get a whole lot for their domination, and the Leafs were able to stay in the game and get back into it in a hurry.
They definitely left a few on the ice there, Stag, but as you just pointed to, 3-goal lead going to the third when you completely were in full control of a hockey game should have been more than enough, and unfortunately they completely imploded over a span of 3 minutes and 24 seconds to let the Leafs tie it, and then gave up another one to let them take the game away from them.
Well, William Nylander had missed 3 of the previous 4 games. They got him back in the lineup tonight, and he scored 2. He and Matthews each scoring, and those guys led them out of the woods to get the win. Let's go back to Phil Bourque and Joe Brand back in Toronto.
And William Nylander with now 6 goals against the Penguins in his last 4 games with 2 tonight. He got the Leafs within 1. He tied the game, and then Bobby McMahon with the go-ahead and what turned out to be the game-winning goal. No other way to write this one home, Borky. It was just a tough loss. It was probably the hardest loss that the Penguins have had this year so far.
No, especially when we gave you some of the numbers that before tonight, the Penguins only 9 total goals against in their 13 third periods, the 13 games prior. And they give up 4 here tonight. It just goes to show you, it's not over till it's over. And like I said, there was some blatant mistakes made out there in the third period that cost the Penguins. They had chances. I mentioned they were up 3-0, and Ville Koivunen had a chance to make it 4-0. And the game's probably put to bed at that time. But Koivunen kind of misses an open net, puts it off the side of the net. Shortly thereafter, Matthews scores to kind of get them back into the game, and that's when it started to get tilted.
Penguins lose their first game after leading after 2 periods. They go to 5-1-0, and the Maple Leafs win their first game when trailing after 2 periods. They improve to 1-5-1. What do you have for our play of the game? It's sponsored by Rivers Casino.
It's pretty easy. Bobby McMahon's goal in the third period. And Nick Robertson made a spin move on Owen Pickering in the corner, left Pickering in the dust, walked it right to the blue paint, got a shot away. The rebound came out to McMahon. Harrison Brunick was in front of the net, but he was kind of spinning around. He didn't know where the puck was, looking around. He didn't get puck, didn't get man. McMahon gets the puck, and he lifts it over Tristan Jarry, and that goal by Bobby McMahon is good enough for my play of the game.
It's now time for our 3 stars, which are brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Here we go. Number 3 star went to the goaltender, the netminder of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Anthony Stolars, who stopped 34 or 37 piece of vulcanized rubber that came his way. Your number 2 star went to the captain of the Leafs. That's Austin Matthews. He had a 1+1 night, 4 shots, +3. Won 56% of his faceoffs and played 21.58. And your number 1 star was Leafs forward William Nylander, who had a couple goals, throwing an apple, 5 shots, +2, and played 19.04.
This is just tough, pal. I mean, 20 minutes really was a 180 swing on the entire road trip. It would have been a winning road trip. It would have finished it off, as you mentioned at the end of the broadcast. A couple of off days before Washington comes to town. That might help lessen the burden on this one. But, I mean, it really could have been a perfect ending to this road trip had the Penguins continued the Leafs' struggles. But Toronto came out in the third period with much more energy than the second, but the Penguins just weren't ready for it, and that's what ended up costing them the game.
No, it's hard to put your finger on just one thing. You can't. And it's tough to wrap your head around this, because how could you be so good in the second period, then be so bad in the third period with everything that was on the line? And I just gave you the stars. Do you see Ben Kindle in there? No, Ben Kindle should have been the first star.
Yep.
And possibly get an empty net goal, maybe with an empty netter, and get your hat-trick goal. And Ben Kindle's name is not even mentioned. We're not even talking about him. And he was unbelievable in this game. And so I don't know how to wrap a bow up in this one and get out of here, Joe. But this one here, I'm really curious on how Dan Muse has words for this one and what transpired in the third period after. How can you be so good in the second and then be so bad in the third?
Yeah, it's just so bizarre that the energy in this entire building was very quiet, very dull, and then for the smallest amount of time, it revved up, but it just happened to be the right amount of time.
Now we got Ovi coming in the building. They do play St. Louis tomorrow, the Washington Capitals, and Ovi is 1 goal away from 900. He's gone 4 games without a point, and 1 goal in his last 7. And get this, Ovechkin does not have more than 3 shots in any game this year.
Wow. That's hard to believe.
30% off tickets on Thursday night.
You read my mind, buddy. Early Black Friday savings has already started. Well, Ben Kindle seems to be worth the price of admission alone, so he will more than likely be there against the Washington Capitals. So if that's not a good enough reason, still, there are 2 home games before the Penguins leave for Sweden. And again, those tickets are 30% off by visiting PittsburghPenguins.com. For my partner, the old 2-9er, and everyone that helped out in tonight's broadcast, like our on-site engineer, Paul Gatt, helping us out here from the Scotiabank Arena and making us sound better than we actually are. Another big thanks to everyone back at the station, Jared Calvert, Grace Lomberto, Megan Lukic over on social media, and our executive producer, Jacob Lasner. For everyone that I mentioned, along with the attended crowd here of 18,916 at Scotiabank Arena, I'm Joe Brand signing off. Again, the final score, the Toronto Maple Leafs 4, the Pittsburgh Penguins 3. Staggy, Mets, good luck, fellas. The floor is yours.
Leafs had 25 blocks tonight, Joe, and the Penguins had 5. That's how much the Penguins were dominating in the shot department. The Leafs had to block 25, and the Penguins registered 37.
I'll tell you, Stag, I mean, the Penguins were firing on all cylinders. They had 27 shots overall that were total blocked because a couple of them hit their own guys. They had 16 that missed the net, 37 on goal, and you're up on the wrong end of it. They just were completely dominant, but let it slip away. And I know you sat here and said both two teams on the ice, but I would have hoped that they could have weathered it a little bit better. And it's got to be a big learning experience for them.
We saw the Penguins do it to teams many times. The big guns, they come out and they do that. They just snatch the game away from you on some nights, and that's what they did. We'll be back with more. The Penguins fall to the Leafs 4-3 on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The Dodgers cement their dynasty.
The only thing harder than winning that title is defending it. Tune to MLB Network Radio for up-to-the-minute coverage of baseball's hot stove season as teams take their first steps towards the 2026 World Series.
The hot stove is burning.
Every trade, every signing, live on-site coverage from baseball's winter meetings in Orlando. Hear it all on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89, and the Sirius XM app.
Experience the pinnacle of club soccer in the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. This is the place where legends are born.